This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Satva Luxury Mattress, the only online mattress company to provide free delivery, setup, and mattress removal.
Welcome to Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to Your Mom's House.
This is it. Here we go. We're finally here. I can finally do it, Gene.
Okay.
The second half.
Mastermind.
Yeah.
I like this.
I have been wanting to announce these dates.
Okay.
The Take It Down World Tour.
Oh, shit, homie. Turn it down. Turn it down in headphones. Tom needs to turn that shit down in headphones.
Dude, I'm so stoked. All right, it's finally here. People have been asking me about different cities, and now I can tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you.
Go ahead, homie.
I am coming to a bunch of cities. All the cities I've been asked about, I'm coming, dog. Minneapolis.
Whoa.
LA.
Whoa, homie.
Denver.
Okay.
Toronto.
Okay.
Vancouver. Miami. Austin. Phoenix.
Miami, homie.
The UK. I'm coming to London town. I'm coming, man.
You gotta practice your accent, homie.
I'm coming to Europe. I'm doing European dates.
Can you announce those?
There's a whole bunch of them.
You're going to my motherland.
Yeah.
Can you say that? Or
I don't want to. You
don't want to take up time.
I want to make sure you go to the site.
Okay, homie.
Go to tomsegura.com/tour. Now, here is the thing that happens when you listen to this podcast. Right now, the general on sale starts Friday, the 12th.
Okay, and
But if you're listening or watching right now, if you're listening on the 9th, if you're watching on the 10th and the 11th, the on sale hasn't started, you can use my code, CHAMP.
Okay.
CHAMP, CHAMP, and that will unlock the tickets. So you can actually get tickets before the rest of the public does. Thank you, everybody who signed up on the email list. You got that email yesterday. That's it, man. The tour continues. It's going to be all over North America, all over Canada, Europe, and there's even going to be another announcement in a few months about one other market.
You are just tearing up the world this year, Jeans.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
I'm so excited, and I'm excited for this European leg.
I'm super excited to do the European leg.
We have so many mommies in the UK that are going to be so excited.
They've been hitting me up, too, so I appreciate everybody. A lot of you guys have been hitting me up about UK for a long time, so I'm very excited about it.
Young Tom Segura.
Young Tom, tomsegura.com/tour. Use the code word CHAMP, Gene.
Silly. Personality champ, that's me. Water champ, that's me. All right. God. I would like to thank everybody who came out to Minneapolis, the Acme Comedy Club. What a great weekend that was. So the Ride or Die Tour rolls right along May 10th and 11th now. I will be in Tempe, Arizona at the Tempe Improv, May 31st through June 1st, Sperm Bank here at the Flippers Comedy Club, June 20th.
You might want to actually say, for someone
Flappers
who's like, hey,
Comedy Club.
I don't speak your language.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna
New
be
listeners.
in Burbank.
Sorry, Burbank. Sperm Bank. You're right. Yeah, that's Burbank, California at the Flappers Comedy Club.
Someone listening like, I don't know where the fuck that is.
This chick's fucking out of her mind.
Yeah.
June 20th through 22nd, Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Improv. Tickets are at Christina P. online. Also, if you're new to me, you're new to the podcast, check out my Netflix specials. I have an hour called Mother Inferior under Christina P. is my name there. And The Degenerates half hour when I was 8 months pregnant with our second child. And I told filthy cum dick jokes 8 months pregnant in Vegas.
That's nice.
T-shirts for the Ride or Die Tour available at Tom Segura's merch page.
Yes, go to merchmethod.com/Tom Segura. Very excited that everybody can be a water champ because we have the water bottle.
You have to drink water to be considered a water champ, Tom.
What up now, dog?
I've got two for year one.
Merchmethod.com/Tom Segura. And what I'm very, very excited about is, I don't know if you have it in the show. Do you have that Drew clip in the show or no? Do you have that video?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Oh, dude, we can just play it in a minute. We'll just open the show because it's too much fun.
I'm loving the Water Champ bottle. I have one at the house. I use it around the house. What's great about it is that it doesn't have a tinny taste the way a lot of water bottles often do. And I love the top, the sippy top. I don't know what the fuck those are called either, but it's so easy.
Figure out what that word is.
It's a great size.
Yeah.
It's great to represent the show. Take it to the work, to the office.
Yeah. Take it to the gym.
Take it to the gym. Take it outside.
Take it on a hike. Mm-hmm. Catch me outside. God, you're ruining me.
Put that on your tool belt.
That's right. All right. Should we start the show, Gene?
Heck yeah.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this show. It's going to be a great show today.
Oh, my gosh. What is your mom doing
This is
there?
Christina in 10 years.
I am fucking fuming! Mega fucking fuming! Fucking lip breaking down all the fucking time! And no one's doing anything about it!
This shit is big time!
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura. And
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to your mom's house.
There's it's British Christina.
What am I talking about here?
I think you're upset you didn't get tickets to the Take It Down tour.
Oh, is that what?
Fucking fuming! Mega fucking fuming! Fucking lip breaking down all the fucking time! And no one's doing anything about it!
What?
She's
What's that
mad.
last bit? Master of accents? David Bowie?
Yeah.
Fuming! Fucking lip breaking down all the fucking time! And no one's doing anything about it!
And there's something about it.
Let's do something about it. I'm
Yeah.
fucking fuming.
What's the next part of that?
I'm fucking angry! Fucking getting soaking wet every fucking day! I'm fed up with it!
She's crying. She's got tears coming out of her
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Jesus.
I was very upset this day.
How did you find this one?
Someone sent it to me saying that this was Christina from the future. I wasn't sure, but I mean, I see the
I
resemblance.
kind of do too, actually. If I'm being honest,
Yeah?
I don't not see a resemblance.
Right.
Like if I were to gain a good other
10,
50.
15.
Those are my old teeth. Those are teeth I had when I was a kid.
Right,
The space
right.
and then the bulging eyes. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
If you had stayed after your semester or your year at Oxford.
My ear. Yep. This could have been
This
me.
could be you. Eating those sandwiches you love. Remember
Hell,
those?
curry chicken
The
mango
curry
chutney.
chicken mango chutney.
Hell yeah,
Look
dude.
at this bitch, man.
I know. It's not. She doesn't not look like me. I'm not gonna lie.
This would
She
make
could be me.
my dick invert grow into my body.
What are you talking about,
If this was like what I woke up and saw in the morning, I'd be like,
babe? Nobody wakes up next to this woman.
someone does.
No.
That's a celibate man.
No.
Yeah.
No. You gotta maintain, bro. That's
Does
why you
she
gotta
keep
maintain.
going?
I don't know. That's it.
No, this was
Thank
a very
God.
short. It's just these two clips.
God, what is she so upset
She
about?
stressed me
I
out.
think it's possibly about the weather.
Oh, because she's getting rained
She's saying
on.
that she's
Right.
soaking wet.
I'm
Right.
fucking angry! Fucking getting soaking wet every fucking day!
Maybe-
I'm fed up with it!
Maybe she's talking about her panties, though.
No.
That's very possible.
Yeah, she's getting turned on.
No. What I am talking about here, I am referring to the weather. And
This is you're confirming this is you?
well, this is when I lived in Gloucestershire.
Mm-hmm.
In Gloucestershire, and it was very, very rainy
Mm-hmm.
every day for months and months.
I'm gonna do my whole set with a British accent.
Are
in
you?
there.
What are you gonna open with?
Hello, mate. Like that.
What do you sound like when you do it? You sound like a pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hey.
Like like a fake pirate, like a fake British pirate. Hello, or should I Crocodile Dundee? That's not
That's
a knife.
Australian.
Now that's a knife.
You
I know.
the difference between those accents.
I know the difference. You don't, because
How
you're.
do I not know?
You're doing your British accent like Crocodile Dundee.
No, I'm not.
Do it again.
Hello, mate.
Yeah. Doesn't he sound like? That's not a knife. Now there's a knife.
No. That's great time at London town.
I bet you were invited to London town.
I was.
You didn't just show up
Today's
demanding.
guest too. Invitation only, bitch.
Yeah. Hashtag invitation.
Invitation
only.
only.
Yeah. We
Know what
keep
I mean?
a strict code around here. Not just
We do.
anybody can get
Just
on the
show
show.
up. Yeah. All right, mate.
Ma.
It's a bit of a whiffle, isn't it?
A bit of a whiffle's not a fucking phrase
Hey, Bob's your uncle.
in British town.
Go on.
Go on. Bob is your uncle. Is.
Go on.
You're the worst at English accent. So I went dress shopping.
You cold, yeah?
Yeah. I said yeah. But that's like, you know,
What?
like put it this way. In Oxfordshire, they don't say yeah at the end of sentences. It's a little more proper.
I hear
Proper-like.
a lot of Brits say yeah. At the
Yeah.
end.
But that's more like, you know, Londoner,
Isn't it?
Cockney. In it.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Bangers and mash.
I love it. I could live there.
I go to eating. You know what you're going to love there,
I
bro?
could live there.
Real talk. English breakfast is kind of the fucking jam.
I
bro.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Baked beans.
The last time I was
Beans
in
on
London,
toast.
man, it's so long ago. But I was there with you.
Yeah.
Russell Peters invited me. I did this
Russell
little
Peters.
place called the O2 Arena.
Can you even believe that you did that? I
No.
think about you doing that, and we went to
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
We did London, the O2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. And there was like 10,000. How many people?
No, 16,000 each show. He did two shows.
I was shitting my pants for you. And Russell would go up there like, anyways, that was going to, like, no.
Well, first we did a tune-up. His warm-up show
Unreal.
was in, I guess it was in Birmingham, right? Or was it? Yeah, it was in Birmingham.
Bam.
Yeah, we went to Birmingham. He's like, we do a warm-up show before the arena show. I hadn't even been in an arena. And the warm-up show in Birmingham was 7,000 people.
Ah.
So he was just like, just kind of get get loose.
Dipping the toe in.
Just kind of see what it's like here. I bombed on that show. I ate shit in Birmingham.
I think you're a lot harder on yourself because I remember that
didn't
show.
go-
You did not bomb.
I didn't bomb, but I was like, huh. And he actually, we were talking after the show. I was like, yeah, I remember. I was like, that wasn't great. And they're like, that's because, this is what even he said. He goes, those people were off the boat. Like, he's like, here, that you did a show to foreigners.
Legit.
But in London, it was a
Legit.
little more like our contemporaries.
Because I remember it was such a unique experience, a Russell Peters show, because you look at the audience, and it was just a sea of yes, yeah, bang, bang, bang. Like
It was.
my stepdad. Put it that way. My
Yeah.
stepdad and his family, and it was. I've never
But
seen
there was a huge, the Birmingham show.
It was awesome.
He was like, these people just got here.
Right.
And in London, it was like what you'd expect, a mix of everything.
more assimilated to the culture, and they knew references.
But the shows
and such,
went really differently.
very differently. Well, I mean, I couldn't imagine being. I don't even how far along in comedy were you at that point in your career? 8 years, 7.
Yeah, 7, 8 years.
And I remember I was shitting nervous for you and watching you up on these huge monitors, and I was like, how is he doing this right now? I was just so impressed that you could even have the nerve to do. I couldn't. I
2
fucking
weeks
shit.
2 weeks later, I did Comedy Central Presents
Isn't that
in
crazy?
New York. Yeah.
Wow, with the full charge, right? Wasn't
Full
he on that run?
Charge, Jay Larson.
Jay Larson.
Yeah.
Wow.
We all taped our specials.
Very cool.
I remember that when I was in London, I was like, man, we're pretty close to broke.
Oh yeah.
And Russell, I didn't tell him. I was like, man, but he had his person wire the payment to us, and I was like, oh, we can pay our rent.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He was so generous and
Yes.
kind. He flew both of us out, put us up in a hotel, fed us.
Yeah.
I mean, and his
Super
wonderful brother, Clayton, and his wife. And it was just a wonderful trip. It was a wonderful trip.
It was a cool experience.
I'll
man.
always be grateful to Russell Peters because he kept us alive for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a few people, right?
And so many people have that story, by the way,
Oh, I know.
of
well,
Russell.
Well, yeah, we'll have a guest. I don't know if it aired.
Yeah, it
George
did, right?
Perez.
Yeah,
Has that aired?
already.
Yeah, he had a great Russell Peters story as well. Very
Russell.
generous guy.
And I've met like 10 other guys who have a story like that.
Isn't that
Seriously.
sweet?
Yeah. A lot of people have
Yeah.
Russell stories.
Sweet guy, sweet family. So we were at the country club, aka the mall, and I've decided as a married person, because we've been together for 15 years, I'm just gonna start letting you pick out my clothes.
Yeah, you introduced that whole concept to me.
Yeah.
I never thought that way. You were like, you should pick things, and I go, why? And you're like, because you look at me.
Yeah, I don't look at me. You look at me.
And I should start taking you shopping.
That's what I'm talking about, homie.
I never do that though.
No, I
do.
know,
I
we
try to
just
get
started.
you to approve things. Yeah.
But I went dress shopping with you, and I was like, just go pick some stuff that you want to see me in. And of course, you brought back the shortest, lowest cut hoochie stuff. My tits were coming out of every dress. I was like, babe, I got these monster tits. They don't fit in like cute little girl.
That's what I want to see.
I'm a grown ass woman.
That's
I know.
what I want to see.
But
like
we're
about to shoot a scene. Keep those tits in that dress.
But there has to be a compromise.
They don't fit, and then you're like, raw.
What?
Huh?
What's the scene? What's your fantasy?
I don't know.
You're like, oh, does it help you try it on in the dressing room?
Sure. Yeah. Why didn't we do that? Let's go back to the mall right now.
Yeah, you're backed up. You are so nasty. What did I say to you? I was like, when I go out tonight, you got to jerk it.
Yeah.
Why?
I can see that the phone's ringing.
Yeah. I go, I'm going to go out to the Comedy Store tonight. I can't make sweet marital loves to you tonight because I'm working.
Yeah.
I said, when I'm gone, I want you to clean your pipes.
Yeah.
What did you tell me you're going to do with your pipe sauce?
Oh, I said I was going to jerk off on your pillow. So that when you get back home, you lay down. It's just like,
what are you, 5?
Then you sit up. You're like, what's going on? Your pillow's stuck to your head.
Nadav, are you listening to this
and then
event?
the pillow slowly just falls off. You're like, what is that?
This
I'm
is
like,
not
I
how
don't
you
know.
talk to your lady.
That's how you turn chicks on.
What chicks?
That's what chicks like.
Chicks don't like this kind of talk.
Yeah, they do.
Listen, I'm damaged goods. That's why I tolerate this kind of talk. I got trauma, childhood issues. No normal woman would put up with this.
No?
No, man. No, you got me at a vulnerable point. I was like a wounded, what's the word? Gazelle.
Yeah.
You snatched me right up before I got into therapy, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I like you. I love you.
I love you. You.
Aw. Anyways, I taught our 3-year-old son how to say, I need to take a dump, and you've not been happy with
Yeah,
it.
I don't think, because obviously I think that's funny, but,
So do I. It's good.
There's context, and, then you have our little boy in situations like, looking like the animal. I just don't want him to say it to somebody, and then they're like, that's really cool.
Well, listen, I need to take a dump. It isn't dirty. It's not
Little kids his
against the
age
rules.
say, I got to make a poo-poo.
Yeah, but poo-poo's dumb. It's boring.
I know, but these 3, man.
What about brown? Can we compromise? Can I teach him to say, I need to make a brown?
Yeah, I think that's okay. Dump is a little...
Funnier.
It's funnier. It is funnier, but we're not shooting a, a video. It's
What's the point of having 2 comedian parents if it's not going to be fun for you?
All right.
You know what I mean?
As long as, okay, he's going to be saying that. And people are going to be like, hey, something really happened today. It wasn't very nice. Your son announced he had to take a dump.
He refused to put on his pull-ups the other day at school.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're free-balling, dude.
He was like, yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. Does what he wants. I like that. I like a little rebelliousness. It's good.
Okay.
A little healthy distrust of authority.
I got to take a dump.
So what?
He said it to me the other day. I was like, excuse me? He's like, I take a dump. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I noticed, don't think I didn't notice this morning. I got out of the shower and it was fucking so cold in her room. Look how happy you are. And then I checked the thermostat. You had it down to 68 degrees.
Felt good. Felt nice.
Oh, man.
By the way, you always fall asleep before me. Last night, I don't know if you did this, in the middle of your sleep, you kicked your blankets off.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No way.
Yes, you did.
That's
yes, you
not
did.
true. That's propaganda.
No, it's not propaganda. You kicked it off.
And did you turn the
hot.
AC on?
Yeah, of course. 'Cause we were hot. Both. I was like, I'm hot, and then I look at you, and you're like, obviously telling me that you're hot.
I'm not hot.
Yeah, you were hot. You were hot.
Look at Blue Band just put #thermostatgate.
Thermostat gate.
Yeah,
is
go ahead
real.
and tweet me. Let me know what your ideal temp is in springtime. I like a 76. That is where I am. And in the winter and the spring, I like it to be 76. Actually, all times. Let me know what your ideal temp is, ladies.
There's no way anyone's like you. No one.
Yeah, 76.
Man, she had it 78 for a while. She's like, feels good.
It does feel good. It's normal.
It doesn't feel good. No, look, everyone's shaking their heads.
Hey, well, Blue Band, what do you keep your nest at?
69, baby.
Yeah. What about Chris?
72.
Oh,
That's still kind of.
Now we know
72.
that
That's in my lane. I
Josh
like that.
can't weigh in because he's severely disturbed.
He's a cockroach.
And he's like, 45 feels nice. But by the way, did you guys battle it out over who got the ball kit, the ball maintenance?
I mean, we haven't discussed it yet, but I know, he has Greek genes in him, and I see his chest hair coming out of his shirt sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe Chris wants some too.
Chris wants it.
Chris.
Apparently, he has some hair. Oh, but this isn't going to be for the arms.
Can we do it? Can we have some type of contest where you guys battle it out? You know?
Oh shit! Yeah. What would be the parameters?
I don't
For
know.
the ball shaving?
Yeah, it's a really nice kit
It is a really nice kit.
from Manscaped.
How about push-ups?
Push up. Oh, he's walking right in.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Joey Diaz just walked on our set. I didn't even know you. How'd you sneak in?
Your mom's house will be right back.
Hi, homie.
Yes.
Right around the pipe, deep in that valley, sometimes I get an itch, so I got to trim the hair to take the split ends.
Yeah.
I take the split ends out and I just leave like a little bush. And
Just
then-
roll.
And then you fucking,
Yeah, we're
your
ready.
dick looks good. My
Just
balls
go.
don't get hair, though. I've never seen, my balls don't get no hair. I get like a wild strand from time to time.
Are you hairy on your chest?
No, I have no hair at
And
all.
on your butt? Your culo?
No.
You don't have
So
a hairy
that's
butt?
why.
Oh.
No, I got.
That's nice.
From time to time, you get that wild hair that grows
Yeah.
out, and you just pluck
No,
it out.
I got a forest back there.
Do you really in your asshole?
Yeah.
No. I'm not a.
Sometimes I shit hair.
I'm like
That's
what they
not
call lampiño in Cuban.
What's
not
that?
It's called lampiño. You don't have a lot of hair. I don't have hairy legs.
Dude, you know I did a Spanish set a few weeks ago, all Spanish.
How'd it go?
It went well. I had a fun time.
There's
I
a
was
market
nervous.
for that.
There
I
is.
think when I
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Miami, I'm going to add a second show on Thursday and just try a Spanglish show.
Really?
Yeah, just Spanglish it up. Little, some Cubanisms for them.
Yeah.
Because the Cuban is very funny.
Yeah.
It adds a very funny whatever. And all I have to do is go up there and play one of my relatives.
Yeah.
With that broken English.
And they know
it's
it.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And
You did
Miami's
that-
great for that.
You did that You did your, I think it was your stepfather or your uncle in your This Is Not Happening.
Right. What
Yeah?
happened here?
What happened here?
What happened here?
Yeah.
¿Qué pasó? What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
And he would try to say motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he could never. That's all he knew.
Yeah.
That's all he knew.
And I love
motherfucker.
the detail of like when what he could say that to you, but like if the cops come, he's like, no,
Nobody knows English.
Nobody knows.
They played that so well.
That is so funny.
They played it.
That's hilarious.
They played it to such a T, Christina. You ready
Yeah.
for this?
Yeah.
That my mother would come home at night. She'd go, listen, tomorrow you can't go to school. Nico's going to give you $100. Go to DeLuca with him. DeLuca was an attorney in the neighborhood, a fucking deadly Jew. Deadly. Like if he represented you, you got scot off. Like I know people, the Sullivan Act?
No.
The Sullivan Act is when you get pulled over with a piece in New York City. You just go straight to jail. You do a year's sentence.
Oh,
It's a
right.
2-year
They don't fuck around in
mandatory,
New York.
a half, whatever. Dog, I saw him get people off of that.
Off of gun charges.
Like off of gun
Wow.
charges.
Yeah.
He had a menu. Like when you went to see him, you go, okay, sit down, Tom. Nice to see you, Christina. All right. Here's the situation. They caught you with this. They got you on the phone. I can make the tapes disappear, and I can get to the judge. That's going to cost you $400,000. For $300,000, the tapes will be admissible, but I'll hire an FBI witness to say that they were tampered with. You're still going to do 6 months. For $200,000, you do 9 months, and for $100,000, you're going to do 18 months. Give me a call. Think about it. Great to see you. And it would be like a wrote, and my mom and stepfather would be like, or anybody else would be like, ¿Qué dice?
Yeah.
Even though they knew what he was saying,
Right.
they would never let the cat out of the bag.
I-
They played
yeah.
they played immigrants.
Because you got to keep
That's
that leverage.
smart. You
That's
know,
leverage.
You got to
That's
keep
how
your
you
leverage.
get out of jury duty too.
Yeah.
It's a Hungarian community trick. My dad always told me once I get the thing, like you just go in and
they,
you're like,
they don't even want to hear it. Oh, fuck this paper. Forget it. You know, it's like these poor bastards, these poor white bastards in Hollywood that are going to get thrown under the jail
Yeah.
for paying off their fucking kids' college. Those two people,
Yeah.
those $1 million bails, they're going to get thrown under the jail.
Yeah.
And the 250, she's going to get some probation or something. Well, listen, I kidnapped a dude, threw him in the trunk of a car, and my bail was $50,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
And this
So,
bitch paid $1 million.
$1 million bail apiece. And the next day when you went to use their ATM card, it was like, it's no good. What are you talking about no good? I just put $500,000 there.
no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. The feds get on that shit over there. They don't even fuck around. Those people are sucking dick right now. Full House chick, she's somewhere stripping in the valley right now. That's a lot. They
lot of
racketeering, they just seize your assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wait till you come from trial, and then they just take everything.
It's wild, man.
They go to your house the next day with tape
Isn't
recorders.
it crazy that
Jesus.
it like that they felt so compelled, like that their kid
Yeah.
could just go in. Their kid could have gotten into any college, but they're like, nah, my kid's got to go to
cares?
this
Guys,
college.
I do not want my child involved in any aspect of this area. I am just waiting for a signal to get the fuck out of here, whether it's a little out of Reno, maybe it's Vegas, maybe it's Tennessee, and it's because of what's happened the last 3 years. Harvey Weinstein, Jesse Smollett, R. Kelly. You got to think of this Michael Jackson documentary you just saw. This thing with these fucking people paying for your kids to go to college.
It's a bad environment.
Just think of this is all the Hollywood machine.
Yeah.
If you really think of Jesse Smollett, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him because he got sucked into it. Have you ever been on a set and you see people who are getting sucked into it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one day you come out of that fog between the business manager, the agent, this manager, your 19 assistants, you're fucking broke. Now, remember, we go on the road because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't go on the road for money. I go on the road because I have a good fucking time. When you go on the road for money,
Yeah.
because you need to pay the mortgage,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
it's not that much fun taking pictures with people and hanging out
No,
with
you're
people.
right.
yeah.
It's not. So the point I was getting to was they're so stupid. You looking at me? You're looking at me. I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world. I got into the University of Colorado with no high school diploma.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I just kept telling them, I'll send it next week. Next week. Every time they bump into me, the counselor, where's your high school diploma? Next week. It's coming. Overnight mail, FedEx. Then I went to continuing ed, which is an extension of the University of Colorado. And you go there first for a while. And then when you get enough credits, you transfer into the university. I got the letter. You either got to shit or sit down to get off the pot.
Yeah.
You got to transfer in. This is a true story. I went down there. I got the application, $35. I just made up a bunch of fucking shit because I had taken classes at Colorado Mountain College in Aspen. And all those credits transferred with me. That's not when you lost credit. You didn't lose credits then. You know when you transfer now,
Yeah,
you lose
yeah,
92 credits?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
fuck you.
How is that even?
I'm not losing. I did fucking residential wiring. I did all these fucking classes. So they didn't take those credits from me. The university came to me, came to my face. I don't give a fuck who goes to jail now. And they were like, I wasn't thinking, Tom.
Yeah.
I used in the application Joey Diaz. I wasn't even thinking about it. A week later, denied. But when I went to one of the classes, I bumped into a guy that was trying to help me. And he goes, aren't you Cuban? And I go, yeah. He goes, what's your real name? I go, Jose. And the guy looked at me and he goes, if you were to redo your paperwork, staple your birth certificate on there with Jose Diaz, let's see what happens. Let me put a word in for you. Dog, the application wasn't even dry. I dropped it off. And by the time I got home, at the time I had a pager, but I had a home number.
Yeah.
And they had already left a message. Hi, Jose. Congratulations. You've been accepted to the Colorado. Listen to me. And I'm snorting coke with 3 hands. I'm about to go to prison. Like, no, not yet. I hadn't kidnapped the guy yet, all right? So I'm selling cars, snorting coke. I'm hanging out in the fucking CU weight room with Michael Pritchard and all the football players that teach me how to tape ankles. I'm lifting weights with them. I'm living like a double life. I'm selling cars, robbing people, snorting blow at night, eating pussy, and then in the daytime, from like 5 to 9, I became a fucking faggy student. I had my little CU shirt on, and I'd go take classes and talk to people.
What were you studying?
I was studying political science. Because once they came at me with that program, but it was called the CUOP college program. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All you had to do was maintain a C+.
Oh.
And they kept giving you money. I had become Joey Cash Registers because I had a friend that had a book. He had a book for all the money they gave Spanish people. See, this is with all those fucking dumb white people. All they had to do was go to the border. As soon as the Mexican jumps the wall, they grab him. Aquí. Listen, no problema. We're going to take you to our house. You're going to marry my stupid white daughter. We're going to have like a fake wedding, Guadalajara style, whatever. I'm going to give you 10 G's, set you. Think about the $500,000 they paid. They could have paid $20,000, $30,000, married the daughter, and now you're not Christina Brzezinski no more.
Yeah.
You're Christina Hernandez.
Yeah.
And you walk right into
Or you
fucking...
can just change your last name
Think about it. Think of how fucking stupid, how easy, how many loopholes they are. Did you see the girl yesterday? The dumb bitch didn't even play fucking soccer.
No.
Did you see this?
No.
Weren't they photoshopping?
Yesterday, the chick soccer, they went to the soccer coach and they said, are you kidding me?
This is one of the daughters?
Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday it came out that the guy took a chick from around here somewhere, Woodland Hills, and they fucking made a fake profile that she was a soccer player, and they made the captain. The chick never fucking kicked the ball. The coach was like, I never saw her. So it's racketeering.
Whoa.
So they got the soccer coach at UCLA or USC, correct me if I'm wrong.
Holy shit.
For racketeering. I mean, it's just cold-blooded, and they didn't need to go to those extremes.
Yeah, why would you have to go to these extremes to do this?
Do you know how much money they were giving me?
How much?
Honestly. Every time I turned my head, I was getting a check for $2,500 to $5,000.
What?
Jose Marti, Johnny, any Spanish guy that made more money, they just donate. And they have a fund sitting for Spanish people. And all you got to do is just apply. And they were giving me fucking thousands.
And you're like, yo no hablo inglés. Gracias.
No. I wouldn't talk on this. And when I was on campus, I was like a Jap. You know how Japs come around with a camera and they bow and they don't know nothing? I don't know. You should have seen me. You know what I'm saying? I was at the fat chick and Man on Fire when remember La Gordita? Es que no sé, la niña. They would talk to me. I didn't know nothing. I bow. I take pictures like I just came back from Cuba. You should have seen me. As soon as I hit the fucking campus, I was like Vinny Chingigante.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like a half a retard. Es que no sé, ¿dónde está el building A? ¿Dónde está el building C? And I kept asking, even though I was like that retarded kid that has to follow everybody in school to get to school every day because he forgets where the school is. You ever have that guy that just tagged along? Yeah. He just waited for you. I was that fucking guy.
Shit.
I held that fucking moniker up for 2 years. And when I would see people from the college, I'd just be Spanish.
You use the R word.
Sorry.
What's that?
I said.
You use the R word.
Oh my God, it was fucking hilarious. So when they find my paperwork, they're gonna put me under the jail with those dumb white people. Because I took more money. I was taking money in prison. When I came out of prison, the first place I went to, these were in Colorado, they had like 3 checks waiting for me for like $12,500. That's how I got it. You know in the mafia they give you a boost?
Yeah.
They gave me a boost. They gave me a $12,500 boost. And then when I reapplied, they said, you can't come into the University of Colorado. You must have felonies.
Oh, really?
So now they had me. So now I had to switch majors from political science because who's going to hire me as an attorney? My plan was to get a political history major, political science history major, and then get into the Spanish law school like a doctor. That's where the big money came. That's when they started buying you cars and paying for your apartments. And let me tell you something. About 4 years ago, I got a letter in the mail from the U.S. State Department. They shipped me and my wife, looked at it, we hit the drum roll, and we opened it up. All they wanted back was $2,600.
Are you serious?
Out of all that money,
They
I wrote them.
they wanted it back though.
2625 a student loan I had taken out for 2,600 for 12 credits or something like that. I just took the 26 and bought a car, and then sold the car. I was flipping cars then on campus.
Jesus.
Es que no sé, tal papeleo. Like that was
Dude,
like
this was a fucking money machine.
It
for
was a
you.
money machine. This is why when you're Spanish, all you have to do is go from where you don't want to be. You're not going to get into USC. They're not going to give you no money. We got 2,000 Mexicans in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
You're in
Right.
no danger.
Go to the
You
Midwest.
go to Iowa City.
Or Oklahoma
you
or some
apply to
shit,
the
yeah.
University of Iowa. You apply
Yeah.
anywhere where blacks and Spanish don't want to be. Because they'll look at each other and go, why are we here? Because we're getting paid, bitch. Whether it's Montana,
Boise.
Yeah.
you know, those places.
Omaha.
University of Michigan,
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Yes,
Oh, they're begging
Nebraska,
for Spanish
yeah,
people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Nebraska, all they got, you know.
Kansas.
So that's the move. That's
Holy
the
shit.
move. It's just,
Now, what did you do when you got out of prison to make money? First thing, like you're
I went and picked up that check for $12,500.
Right,
I was like fucking Henry Hill. We got to go to Pittsburgh tomorrow. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
My wife's like, well, you have a meeting with your probation. I said, don't worry, it's taken care of.
Right away.
I picked up the $12,500, and I got a job selling cars because they'll let anybody. You could breathe into the bottom of a glass. They'll let you sell cars. So no. At first, I couldn't sell cars. I'm lying to you because I had to get my license. You have to get your license redone. Not my driver's license, but my car salesman license. So I got a job in the halfway house detailing cars. But I really wasn't detailing cars. I was selling blow. What I would do is, so let's say I was coming, where do you work? I work at Tom Segura Industries, 666 Mockingbird Lane. I would give them the address, but I tell them I'm a detailer. We don't hear the phone ring, so just page me.
Oh, right.
ah
And they
smart.
went for the page. So I would be driving around. You're not allowed to drive until you're level 4. Fuck you. I had a car parked 2 blocks away. I'm driving around town. One day I pulled up next to a counselor at the light. And I'm like, please don't turn around. Please. And she didn't turn around. I got away with
And this is in Colorado still?
This is in Boulder.
Yeah.
So I was
It's so
washing
funny to picture you
cars,
as a Colorado
selling
guy.
coke.
I know. I don't
I
see
was
you there.
slinging coke, selling cars. I was clean, but then I came up positive from weighing the coke. When you pick up the rocks and shit, the shit goes through your fingers,
Yeah.
and it goes into your bloodstream. So I pissed coke, and that's when the problem started. Now I had to wear gloves and a mask.
Well, what happened when you tested positive though? Did they?
The first time they made me go to a 90-day out treatment, like Artie Lang type shit.
And you went?
Oh yeah, I'm in there selling coke, getting my dick sucked. There was a chick in the group that would suck dick just by a look of an eye. They give us a little break. We go behind the building, a little sucalamink, and I go back in and tell them about my mother, how she beat me with a paper towel. The chick's name was Patrice. I never forget that. I would just see her and she'd suck my dick. It was tremendous. She was in the halfway house with me. I would check in when you got into the halfway house. You'd have to sign your name and there'd always be a note. Come by my door. Because there was chicks on the first floor. And I would go by her door, knock on the door, give her a little piece of coke, and just take my dick out of the door. Like if I was talking to her, I'd be hanging out like on the thing and she'd be sucking my dick. The counselor would be on the other side. Boom, I shoot my Saminka juice, put the helmet back in, and I'd go upstairs. An hour later, she'd be fucking jawing up a storm downstairs by herself. I was selling coke at the halfway house.
Jesus.
I was loaning money.
Really?
I was a loan shark. Yeah, because your rent has to be, that's how they fuck with you. The system fucks with you. They know you don't get paid till Friday, but they would make you pay your rent on Thursday. It's $75 a week.
Jeez, that's a
So
lot.
I would lend out 75 for 102. Don't even ask me where I came up with the figure. 75 for 102 on Saturday. Let them cash that check.
Now, what happens if someone doesn't have the 102 ready?
I wouldn't fuck with them.
Yeah.
I'd just say, go fuck yourself. Now you get nothing from me. And now I got 3 guys.
Do
in the
you
room.
ever stop and
What do you
like
mean?
think? Do you ever just stop about think about where you are now in your life? Right, you're this great comedian. You have this beautiful family, beautiful daughter, and you think about how crazy you fucking were. Like the shit you were doing. Doesn't it seem like it's a different person?
I come to terms with it. You know that song by the Talking Heads, you may ask yourself,
Yeah.
living in a shotgun shack.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that. When I look at Mercy, that's all I think about.
Yeah.
Like that song comes in, how did I get here?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go to a psychiatrist or whatever. I broke it down to 3 categories. The first category was when I lived with my mother until she died. I was Jose Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she called me, Jose Antonio. That's what my family calls me. They don't know nothing about Coco or Joey or nothing. They know Jose Antonio. And then when my mother died, I became Coco.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the motherfucker that was just out of his mind. And then when I was about 42, I became Joey Diaz.
Wow.
I had 2 more years of snorting coke, but I was on the upswing at least. It was like I was doing a little heroin.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing coke during the week. I would just do heroin on Mondays and then just carry over for the week.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I look at it, just so I could sleep at night.
Yeah.
You know, just so I could sleep at night.
There's something else amazing happened recently that I talked to you briefly about, was that you'd always told stories about, obviously, the kidnapping and being locked up and getting out, and you would jokingly talk about how you sent a Facebook request to the guy you kidnapped,
Yes.
and he wouldn't accept it. You're like, I didn't accept a Facebook
For years.
request. For years. You would always talk about it.
years.
It always made me laugh. And then recently, you said you did a show, and the motherfucker, he came to your show.
I kept last year really pissed me off because he was supposed to come to Tempe and he never came.
Ken.
And it pissed me off. Like I went back to the hotel room because you don't remember when you're there. Christine, I'm coming to your show tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. All right, see you there. And then on the drive home, you're like, I didn't see Joey Diaz.
Right,
and then somebody will go, he was there. He just left before you got off or something.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't show. And I said, that's it. This is the 5th time he has the show. And then a dear friend of mine said, listen, the reason why he didn't show is he hasn't forgiven himself. Work with him on them. Yeah, work with him on this. He hasn't really come to terms with what happened. You know, he was no innocent bystander. He was in on the deal, too.
Oh,
he just got double-crossed like I did. So when I went to Tucson, I called him the week before. And I said, I'm coming to Tucson. He goes, I'm coming. And I'm sitting downstairs. I thought he didn't show. And there he was. And I just hugged him. I didn't say much because we apologized to each other on the phone. I just hugged him for like 3 or 4 minutes. And it was like one of those hugs when I didn't have to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way I was hugging him was like, listen, I'm really sorry about that day. I can't imagine what you went through. You know, I really can't imagine what you went through. It was a great day for me. I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I lived out some fucking wild fantasy.
Yeah. Do you think he really thought, was he terrified for his life in that scenario?
Yeah, he was. But you know what? He didn't stop. He got in trouble. He got stabbed in the face like 6 months later. Like he was on a roll, the same roll I was on. Let's get something straight. The reason why we met selling cars, but then he disappeared for a while. He would get into a fight with the sales manager and leave. He was very good looking, very charismatic at the time. Then he came back. And that time when he came back, when I met him, when he came into my life, he had a cast on. Like Ari. He had one of those light casts on. And I go, what happened? And he goes, I got chased by the cops. And I crashed into a tree. And I got a DUI, but they took me to the hospital. And while he was in the hospital getting treated, he broke out of the emergency room, kicked the door down to the store pharmacy, and took every painkiller and every bottle of liquid cocaine they had, jumped out the window 3 stories, and ran away, and they caught him 2 days later. So the reason he was in the position he was in was because he knew where the coke was hidden. His partner's coke was hidden, and he wanted to rob his partner's coke and sell it to me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what a tangled tale we weave when we tangle to deceive.
Yeah.
I had different plans. I'm not a fucking salesman. I'm going to just take your fucking coke. So that's what went down. So he was no. And then after I saw, when I got out of jail, he was even more fucked up. I bumped into him. 6, 7 months after I got out of jail, I was already into comedy. I bumped into him in a bar, and he was fucked up to the gills. He goes, what are you doing here? When did you get out? I'm like, I'm sorry. And I go, sell me a gram of coke. I'll never forget, we went into the men's bathroom. They had one of those pocket scales. And while he was weighing the coke, he was fucking hammered. He kept going, I can't believe you kidnapped me. And I tell him, listen, this is a bad day. It happens.
It's a bad day.
Yeah, it happens. You put yourself in a bad position. We shook hands. We even did a blast in the bathroom. We went out and had a beer. And then comedy took over my life. And then one day when Facebook came along, I seen him on there. And I friend request him. He told me to go fuck myself. He wrote me like I tried to be his friend, and I didn't hear shit. And then you know that secret compartment you have in your Facebook? There's like a messenger that you get messages on, but you never check it.
That shit.
Yeah.
One day I checked and I had 2,000 messages on it.
Yeah.
And there he was. He's like, you got some fucking pair of balls.
Asking me to be your friend.
You tied me up and handcuffed me and shit. You know, I couldn't move my hand for 3 days. I was walking around like I had a stroke and all this shit.
You're like, can we be friends?
And I'm like, hey, listen, man, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. I get it. You know, I wasn't trying to be rude to him. Yeah. I just had this sense that, listen, let me tell you something. AA's got that step that they want you to reach out and apologize to some people. Remember when fucking Christopher Moltisanti got out of the rehab?
Christopher
Moltisanti and The Sopranos.
Yeah, of course.
And Tony asked him, are you clean? Yeah. And he goes, I'm even reaching out to some people in some cases. I send some people money, some people flowers, some people send apologies. And then he looks at me and goes, there's some things you should leave alone. Like, I've reached out to as many people as I can. There's some people that are never going to get it. So I'm not even going to try. I even reached out to my ex-wife.
You did?
Yeah. And said, listen, I was a different person then. And then she went on this fucking diatribe about blow and stuff like that. And I go, you know what? I'm not ever going to get through to her either.
Right.
But at least I put it
You
out
tried.
there. I tried. And the reason why she's not dead is because I've made a conscious decision that we both got something we wanted. She wanted to be a mom, and she had the kid, and I got a life. So I'm like fucking Denzel and Man on Fire. I gave a life to get a life, you know, and I've come to terms with it, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Now I got a beautiful 6-year-old. I got the wife. There's no drama.
Yeah.
And here I am in fucking rainy California right now and shit with my 2 favorite people.
Every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm about to see, like, you're going to actually make that move, though. You're always talking about moving somewhere.
I want a sense of community.
Yeah.
I want somewhere. I want this shit to end. Like, you know, I just want to be regular. Like, I don't see a future for me here. If there is, I'll stay here till they bury me, you know, till they put me in that SAG home.
What do you mean there's no future for you here, though? I'm confused by that because I feel like...
Oh, no. I have a future comedy-wise. Yeah. I love all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But let's face it, you know, the other side of the industry has... A great article came out about 2 weeks ago and I'm not saying nothing bad. I think the world of him. I think it was I like Crashing. Mm-hmm. But when Crashing got canceled, a magazine put up that when is it going to end? That it's time for America to accept different type of comics. That the clean-cut comic, America doesn't want to see it no more. We've been pounded with. They mentioned the guy from Crashing. They mentioned John Mulaney, and they mentioned Sebastian.
Yeah.
In this article.
Those guys all do great, right?
Right, which are hugely successful acts and there's Radio City Music.
But if their TV show didn't work, it's not because it didn't work because of them. It didn't work because America's ready for a new... And they even said it in the article. If I was a television studio, I'd be chasing the dirty bunch on the internet.
Yeah.
That's who America really wants to see. Those people with a little bit more... You know, not regular friends, blah, 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 blah. I would like to repitch a show or something like that, maybe give myself a future here. But if it's just to work the road and do a podcast, you can do that from anywhere.
That's true.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Tucson. I'm sitting in the back with Lee Wellington, the guy that runs that theater, great guy, and his little assistant. I go, I'm starving. Do you have any menus? Anywhere? The guy goes, let me tell you something. There's a place down the corner. Fucking tacos. Bourdain went there, and I'll bring you a menu. And he came back with the menu. I didn't even look at it. I go, just get me carnitas, get yourself some tacos, get some for Lee, and get some for Kate Quigley. I gave him $60. Now, I'm not a cheap guy. He came back with a box of tacos, 2 of them, and a bean and cheese burrito, and he gave me back $41. It was $19 for fucking 16 tacos.
Yeah.
And a bean and cheese burrito.
Yeah.
You know, a couple weeks earlier, I went somewhere, St. Louis or something, and I got like a fucking huge lunch. salmon, mashed potatoes, a salad, a cup of fucking lentil soup, iced tea. You know, $12. I told the waitress she made a mistake. And she goes, no, I didn't. That's what the food costs. And you come here and you see what differences. Again, I'm not cheap. I'm just talking about I want to go somewhere where I don't feel I'm getting fucked in the ass.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we gotta, you know, how much longer are we going to pay $25 for fucking luggage? Even though I don't. But I'm just saying, you know, how much longer, yesterday, tremendous, the biggest deal in fucking angel history.
Oh, yeah.
They gave that guy $437 million and all these angel fans. Well, who do you think's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
Now your tickets went from 69 to 89. What if you and Christine and your two little children want to go to a fucking baseball game?
No, it's crazy.
It's 4 times a yardstick plus 50 for parking plus 7 for a soda.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
not
try
saying-
going to Disneyland. That fucking costs a fortune.
But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Disneyland justifies it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. When I go to Disneyland,
Go for it, Joey.
if I turn around and Mickey Mouse fucks me in the ass and I pay the $119, I get my money's worth. And I'll tell you why. You know you're not going to get blown up. You know you're not going to fall off one of those fucking rides.
That's true.
The place is fucking
Clean, immaculate.
Clean. You
Not
know,
even a gum wrapper on the fucking
And
floor.
if something does happen to fall,
I know.
there's a little fucking Mexican dude with a sweeper with Mickey Mouse ears on that comes up right behind you and pick it the fuck up. They don't fuck around at Disneyland. Let me tell you, I went to Disneyland pissed off this last year. First of all, I went to the premiere. Listen, let me tell you the hookup I got. I went to the premiere of Coco. They couldn't find people named Coco. So the guy goes, how about Coco Diaz? I go, my daughter will definitely go see Coco. So they took us downtown.
Seriously, just because your nickname's Coco?
Yeah, they
That's
took us
awesome.
downtown.
They're like, this guy's totally Disney
Fucking
friendly.
food, 3 floors of fucking white people. Drinking martinis mixed with fucking shoe polish and CBD oil. I'm over there mingling with my daughter and my wife. And the kid comes up and he goes, bro, I love you, Segura, Rogan. Like, you motherfuckers are the real deal. If you ever want to go to Disneyland, here's my card.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
hook it
shit.
up.
I got it for you if you ever want to call him.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
My wife wanted to go. I called the guy. I go, hey, this is Joe Diaz from Coco. How are you? I don't want to intrude. You know, you feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
You did say if there was a hookup for Disneyland. He goes, let me call you back. He got me the Joe Rogan package.
Really?
The Joe Rogan package. Joe Rogan just shows up, giving everybody gets a yardstick. But they take him through caves. He cuts through lines.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the guy gave me that deal for 10 people.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I took my nieces, Eddie Bravo and his kid, and me and my wife and the tribe. We stayed at the hotel
Awesome.
2-3 days. They walked around. I walked around a little bit with them. You know, there's some rides I can't do.
Yeah.
But that ride that you sit and you see the world and you smell the dirt, and they throw dirt at you and all that
What
shit.
ride is this?
Around the world or something in
Small
80 days.
World? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, my fucking
I haven't been
God.
to Disneyland in a long
And you're
time.
cutting lines and shit, right?
You cut right through people. Like, how you doing? Vote for me. You're walking around like fucking, you're walking around like you
I've
got
heard
a
about
3-foot
this.
dick. You
Yeah.
just walk past people and
great.
cut through them.
And
I
people
would
must be
love
like, hey, what are you doing, right? Aren't they looking at you?
No, they know.
They know?
They
Yeah,
know?
people know. People know that, you pay a little extra.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not no fucking joke.
Do you know how much it is?
Oh, yeah.
Can you say?
Yeah.
How much?
$400 an hour.
$400 an hour. And there's a minimum for sure.
8 hours.
Whoa.
No, 4 hours. 4
Okay,
hours.
that's some scratch.
But, you know me, my little Jewish skills.
Yeah.
Got it cut down in half. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Dang.
you know what? It was the Netflix thing.
Yeah.
I took that Netflix, the first check, and I gave it to my wife. And I go, what do you want to do? And she
Look
goes,
at you.
Disneyland
You're
with
smart.
Mercy.
Oh, you're the best.
So
Joey.
let's go to Disneyland with no concerns. You pay, you go, you're getting fucked in the ass. But I got to be honest with you, when I left there,
It's a good fucking.
I got to be honest with you, I did not feel like I was getting fucked in the
You
ass.
didn't, yeah.
Wow.
Because every day you see about these companies that a roller coaster falls.
Yeah.
Look at yesterday on Carnival Cruise, some fucking white dude bungee And all of a sudden the bungee broke. He's like, I think my leg could move. What the fuck are you doing on a cruise ship? Who goes on a fucking cruise ship?
I agree.
Who the
I
fuck
hate
goes
it.
on a fucking cruise ship?
I hate
If
them.
you're thinking about going on a cruise ship, shoot yourself right the fuck now. You cannot be that fucking retarded walking around with 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I hate
breathing the same
Yes,
air in a little
exactly.
fucking room, eating that fucking Malouk
Shitty food.
Dog, I went on one. I gotta be. I went on one fucking
Yeah,
cruise.
terrible.
But that's because
Terrible.
I was 21 and she let me fuck her in the ass. We took the cruise around New York, where you go outside New York and you can gamble and eat and the whole thing. But it bring you back the next morning.
Okay, so one
That was
night only.
one night only
Yeah, but
around
we
New
did this
York.
horse shit. It's like 6 nights.
No,
7 days.
no.
And then and they make you sanitize your hands before you go on the buffet because every nasty motherfucker.
It's gross. Dude.
Coughing, sneezing, touching, and then they had an outbreak of some
Yeah, then
flu.
they quarantine people.
Especially now. No, every week there's something
disgusting.
different. Every fucking
I
week
hate
there's
cruises.
something.
And what are you gonna do on a fucking boat for a
Nothing,
week? Drink,
nothing.
eat and drink.
Listen, go to Key West. Rent the fucking guy to take you out.
Yeah, I would
You
much
see
rather
sharks.
vacation
Yeah.
at a location.
And
Right?
4
Go
hours,
somewhere.
you're back.
Go
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah.
I don't do nothing in groups. Every time those groups die,
Yeah.
they die. They fucking die. They
I don't
let
like
the
groups
Things
either.
fly,
You're
gondolas
right.
and shit.
But
I
the
don't-
carnival cruise is the worst. Is that what you did before? You done a carnival
No,
cruise?
I could just see.
That's
I could, it
fucking
doesn't
dog
take
shit.
a genius to let you know.
No.
It's a hotel. Now they take you out and you're stuck with these fucking people.
Yeah, man.
You got to walk around. I don't want to play shuffleboard. I don't want to bungee, and I don't want to eat that fucking buffet food.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's
yeah.
the worst. No,
So
I don't
mushy.
want to be on a cruise. I want to go somewhere where I go. First of all, I'm not a vacation type of guy.
No.
You got me for 3 days. You got my attention for 3 days. After 3 days, I start scratching, fucking acting erratically. I got to get the fuck. That's why Thursday, Friday, Saturday. See you later.
Sunday's
bye.
the Lord's Day.
I
know.
love
the
your
Lord's
Sunday
Day.
policy.
I love Sunday.
love
Sunday
it.
is the and
I
a couple
feel
weeks
same.
ago I broke it. I went down to the store on Monday night and a Sunday night for an all things comedy showcase, and I ate a bag of dicks. As I was driving home, I was laughing. I go, I'm not a Lord's Day type of comic.
Me too.
I
Same.
knew in 1998 that Sundays were going to be a problem, and by 2000, I would just let people know.
My favorite thing about it, though,
I've
here's the
done
thing.
that
You're
because
a-
of you, by the way.
Yeah, you
I have a
you
no
definitely
Sunday
set
policy.
the precedent. But my favorite thing about it is you had the policy before you were really selling
I didn't
tickets.
give a fuck.
Yeah, no. That's the fucking baller thing is that you guys don't understand once you sell tickets, you can dictate things, and people are like, all right, it's whatever you want to do. Before you were selling tickets, you were like, I just tell them to go fuck themselves. And I was like, what?
I would leave Rogan there.
Yeah, you would, right? He told me you left before.
I left him 2 or 3 times. He wouldn't talk to me for a month. But I told you already. I don't work Sunday.
He's like, you would just be gone.
Papa don't work Sundays. Why?
I
What do you
agree.
mean? Papa don't work Sundays.
I don't even answer the fucking phone.
The last thing you want to do on a Monday, bro, is
Yeah.
take a flight.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm
I
telling
agree.
you right now. What,
I
you
know.
really want to fuck around? Take
know.
a flight on a Monday. If you're gonna stay till Tuesday to go to a Yankee game or Tuesday
Yeah.
or Wednesday, I get it.
Yeah.
But there's no reason
Depressing.
to work Sundays. Think about it. What the fuck do you want to do on
No,
Sundays?
I want to be home.
First of all, I don't miss 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
That's my motherfucking show.
I have it recorded
I
every
don't
week.
miss it for nobody or nothing, okay? I don't miss 60 Minutes for nobody.
Yeah,
I don't
what are
watch
you
them.
doing on a Sunday? I imagine you're sitting in your boxers, you smoke a little weed.
If I get home from the
Cooking.
road, first of all, I take the first flight out of wherever
Always.
I
This
am.
guy's
Always.
6 a.m.
6
flights.
a.m.,
I
5
agree.
a.m. I
I
get
agree.
home. They go to church at 9.
Okay.
So if I walk in the door at 9:45, I unload my suitcase, set the sleep apnea machine up, take a shower because that flight's filthy.
Filthy.
The first thing I do, though, because my asshole knows, the compass in your asshole knows when you're away from home.
Yeah.
So when I'm on the road, I take minimal shits, like 8 inches, 6 inches, little torpedoes.
Minimal.
Minimal. When I jump
lot.
into Uber
Yeah.
at the fucking airport,
Yeah.
that's when my asshole starts culminating 3 days
Yes.
of what you've been eating. And at the
You've
airport,
sent me photos.
before I get into the
Really?
plane, I drink a kombucha.
Oh,
They sell
yeah.
it at the airport,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that gets
Wait,
shit moving.
is that kombucha?
Kombucha, whatever the fuck it is. It gets shit moving in your stomach. On the plane, you drop
Quinau.
a little turds.
Quinau.
On the plane, you drop a little...
What do you mean? You're shitting on the plane, or you?
just those pre-shit farts that are horrific.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
people start looking around and swatting their necks and shit.
Yeah.
Like, so I drop a few of those. I get my luggage. By the time I get in the Uber, I tell the guy midway, listen, I gotta take a tremendous shit, so get out of this fucking left lane and get into that fucking IHOP, that HOV lane right now. Get on there. I ain't got time to fuck around. By the time I'm exiting Laurel Canyon, those pre-farts are coming out. I take the 20 out, I give it to the Uber driver, I fucking run in the house, I go to the back bathroom that has a door that goes into my backyard.
Yeah.
I have 3 bathrooms, and that bathroom is priceless. Because I open the door, I sit down, and there's a bong and a pipe and a table next to me with weed underneath. So I fill up the pipe, and I hit it. And as I cough, the shit slides out like nothing, like no stressing. I'm not going to die like Gigi in The Sopranos, backed up by turkey pushing. You just cough. And all of a sudden, you just feel those blocks coming out. And then you catch one of those midway ones that's long. You just got to keep coughing. And all of a sudden, you just feel it coming out of your ass. Sometimes I go to, and I don't put my ball sack in the thing.
You don't?
I shit high.
You put your balls out of the toilet?
Yeah, I don't want, you got to respect your wife.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't put your balls?
I don't put my balls behind the toilet. That's disgusting.
Why? Because they'll dip in the shit.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're sucking my balls and your teeth fall out. I don't put my nutsack in the toilet.
That's courteous.
I pick them up with toilet paper and put it on my nutsack so I can rest. So my shit goes up higher, so it's got more room to go down like a missile.
Yeah.
And then when I get up, I piss on it. And then the piss throws it down the hill. The log just goes in. And then I wipe. I throw it on top of that, and I flush. I wash my hands, and I'm ready. Now I empty the suitcase. I set up the sleep apnea machine. I staple all the receipts.
Now hold
the
on,
plane
back
tickets.
it up. I can't imagine that your cleanup is easy. Do you have a washlet, a bidet?
I have a bidet too. The
Okay.
bidet
And
goes
you
in
fire
there.
that up?
Huh?
You fire that up?
Right the fuck up.
Isn't that the best when you've been on the road and you're smashing, wiping with dry paper?
It's so
It's
good.
horrible.
It's horrible. And then you get home
I love
and that
tushy.
fucking-
I know, it's
I
the
love
best.
it. I fucking press that thing. I got the hot water that
just let it
sprinkles your
run.
ass. You sit there, you go into one of those little fag trances. When they snort those poppers, you ever see that dude from KTLA?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
The dude from KTLA, the one
I don't know that.
Chris Burrows, they tried to hide his debt.
Yeah.
KTLA
yeah.
was a real sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
And they found him in a hotel.
He died, yeah.
Yeah, they put 2 meth rocks up his ass. He had a mask on with no fucking eyeballs. And he had 2 poppers in his nose. The guys were fist fanging him. You know the guy was fisting him in the fucking ass?
Jesus, man.
Jesus Christ.
At least use cocaine and numb the rim.
Yeah.
You're gonna stick
Right.
your finger up my ass with speed. At least put some Novocaine. Even the
Something.
dentist gives you something, right?
Gosh, you know what makes
He was
me
a real
laugh?
savage. This
Yeah,
guy.
this guy was a savage.
When-
He met him
Joey.
on Tinder, the Tinkler.
You know,
Tinkler?
What's the one where you meet gay people?
Grinder.
Grinder.
You know what makes me laugh so much about you, and Tommy and I say it together all the time, is when you talk about there's no more real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He says there's no real fags left.
No, there's no real nothing left. This morning I woke up to Taking Care of Business. Remember that song by BTO?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's when white people were white people.
Yeah.
When they took care of business. They didn't care about nothing. That came out like in 75. It was just dirty white people taking care of business. My daughter hears it. She's like, taking care of biscuits. I'm like, it's not biscuits. It's business, bitch. You got to take care of business. That's when white people were white people.
Yeah.
That's what you took care of. You took care of fucking business.
Now it's not like that anymore.
No, everybody's looking around. Save the whales. Who molested me? I gotta talk to fucking with the fucking little fag from the New York Times, ratting on people. What do you give a fuck? Take care of your own fucking family. Your father fucked his daughter, and meanwhile you're ratting on people.
What's your take on MJ, Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
You think he did that
the
stuff?
Neverland?
Yeah.
The first album I bought when I came from Cuba was Michael Jackson, ABC.
Yeah.
I love Michael Jackson with all my heart. I love what the Jackson 5 did. I still remember that last album, Move in Violation, when Jermaine left and the whole, I lived through all that shit.
Yeah.
I watched both episodes with an open mind. And most people, most Americans, most people who watch that are like, well, it was the parents' fault. Well, again, have you ever worked on a kid's show?
Animated.
Have you ever worked on a kid's show, like a Disney show?
No.
I didn't know what Hollywood was about till I worked a Disney show. It's not about the kids. It's about the moms.
Oh.
Okay. So the moms show up. They got the kids. The kids are acting. You look at the moms at rehearsal Tuesday, Wednesday at the table read, the whole thing, blocking on Thursday. On shoot day, Christine's, you got to look at these fucking moms.
Yeah.
Cleavage is out.
Really?
Mini skirt. The ring is turned around.
Really?
The tits are out there here, made up, blown out. Everybody wants to be Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
And you're looking at them, and they're living their life through their children. You know, I would talk to the moms, and they would go, "Oh, we live in Weehawken because our kid was doing a play in New York." And I go, "Where do you usually live?" And she goes, "We're from Kentucky." And I'm like, "Where's your husband?" "He's at home working. We're out here living in Burbank in a studio apartment trying to get roles." You know, and it was really like, it really showed me, like, what makes a woman. I could see a kid, but now you're pushing it.
It's
They
gross.
were like Pistol Pete's father, Pistol Pete Maravich, who would beat him if they lost,
Yeah.
shit like that. Now we're talking about Never Never Land. When I did the longest yard, I got caught up. When it's very tough not to.
Caught up with like the Hollywood thing.
It's
You mean?
very tough when you say cut and everybody's laughing, and you do the same thing 6 times and people laugh and people blow smoke up your ass. When this movie comes out, you're gonna blow up. You know, you buy it. At one time in this career, you bought it, and at one time you bought it, and then it's gone away. You see it
Yeah.
for what it is, that they're all a bunch of motherfuckers. You
Yeah.
know, when you watch the Elvis documentary, he says it. His own father. He said, when we realized he was damaged goods, our job was just to put him out there until he died.
Yeah.
The captain, whatever the colonel said,
Yeah.
this about his own fucking, you know, we're pieces of meat. We're irreplaceable. In 6 years, a new Tom Segura shows up in Montreal,
Yeah.
and now nobody's returning your calls. But we get caught up. When you watch the documentary, A, I do believe both those boys.
Yeah, I do too.
B, I feel bad for the parents because they were just taken. Think if we're in the business and we got taken. Think about it. What would you feel like? What would you feel like right now if fucking, I don't even know who's a megastar like that anymore, took interest in your child and said your child had talent and we're going to take him to the top. And I got a rehearsal studio right down the corner, drop him off every day at 3. You're going to come for a few days. And then
I know, but knowing what we know about this business, like I would never put my children into show business. Like, who wants to have their kid working when they're 4 or 5 years old? It's not cool.
I don't want that line.
It's terrible.
I'm taken to my child. I don't want it. They
Yeah,
can't
why
see
would
it.
you?
They can't see it.
But when
guys.
you're from but they weren't. These people were from California. No, one was from Australia.
Simi Valley and the other ones were from California.
Yeah.
Correct. But still, Michael Jackson coming to your house in Simi Valley.
Crazy.
You got to remember, he bought her a house. He loaned her money for a house. And then he told her it was a gift. They didn't want the money back. There's so many different variables. I'm not mad at the parents. It happens to us as entertainers. When we come here and they give us a show, we actually buy, you know. How many people have we seen come and go from this town?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Who do you think they left here with a sober mind? Like, everything is fine. No.
Yeah.
They left here with a smack to their fucking face.
Yeah.
How many chicks really did come here and blow nasty guys and didn't get anything? I could think of 10 of them that sucked my dick. And then I'd hear them, well, I'll get you a spot at the fucking Comedy Store. And next thing you know, they're chugging on your helmet
God.
behind the Comedy
You
Store
know,
for a free
that,
spot.
that
Had one of those
reminds me
stories.
of this topic we just had. Remember that executive at what studio? And he was promising.
Oh yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah.
And he was promising these girls, like, hey, if you fuck me, I'm going to give you roles and this and that. And he never followed through. And we were like, that's so cruel. Like, you're a multimillionaire. You don't need to spit that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have just gotten your dick sucked just by being rich.
But if you're that vulnerable,
Yeah.
if you know, I went to Vanna Chubbuck Acting Studios, great place. But after a couple scenes, and then they find out you're a stand-up, I had these girls showing up at the store Like, oh my God, you're so great. You have an agent. They'd never seen that.
Right,
These are
right.
college girls that watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And think that they could accomplish it. They love Reese Witherspoon, whatever. I could do what Reese does. I'm the most popular girl in my high school.
Yeah.
And they come out here,
Yeah,
and you're up
it's
against
serious.
all the popular girls in their high
Well,
school.
and Reese Witherspoon's been in acting since she was a baby.
So she's
you
a baby.
forget.
Yeah.
So these people
Yeah.
forget that, and they come out here and they get caught up, and agents, and I can't tell you how many. I can name like 4 times where a woman looked me in the eye and said to me, "I'll do anything to get an agent. If you get me with your agent, I'll do it." And this is when I was like with fucking low level studio.
Yeah,
what do you call
nobody-
them? Boutique agents.
Boutique.
Yeah.
Boutique agents.
That's what they call them.
You know?
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, I'll do
Really?
anything," and I would go, "Anything, anything." Oh my God, I really want to be an actress. Ever since I saw the Hollywood sign, they don't even have the right reasons. They don't even know why they're doing it.
Right.
They just think that they're gonna go from 0 to 5. How many fucking dicks did Marilyn Monroe suck?
Oh, yeah.
They ran a train on Marilyn Monroe.
God, I wish I would have done that.
They ran a fucking train on Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe.
I know.
They fucked her. They fucked her to death,
Yeah.
and then shot her with something so she would shut the fuck up. She fucked so many people. They killed her.
Yeah.
Just to listen, you can't.
Can't be
Harvey
called.
must have seen her titties when he was like 3. Everybody fucked the shit out of Marilyn. They were passing her around, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way to
You
the
know-
press, man.
The press was
Yeah.
fucking her. This
She
has
was
been-
mentally ill. She was very
No
mentally
shit.
ill too. Yeah.
No
like
shit.
Orphan.
Those are the
and-
ones they
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
They don't want
yeah,
the
yeah.
ones that are Phi Beta Kappas.
Right.
You're not going to put it over on them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They want the girls that go to. You ever do a TV show or a movie, and you go to the party, and you don't even really want to fucking be there.
Yeah.
And you see people from the movie, and you wave at them, but then these other 60 women that are there, they're black, they're white, they're Chinese, they got afros, they got tight suits on, and at one point of the night, the hors d'oeuvre comes by, and just look at them and go, "I don't remember you from the movie. I'm Joey." And they'll go, "I wasn't in the movie. I'm just here because my friend." You're there to suck dick.
Yeah.
When people tell me I'm there to support Tom, you're here to suck dick. You're here to suck a dick in one form or another. You ever have a showcase? In the old days, if you had a showcase at the Comedy Store,
Sure.
they put an asterisk next to your name.
Yeah.
And comics would just go down there to see who had an asterisk. And they would wait till you were talking to somebody. And then they'd come
Yes.
over and crack a joke. Let me tell you what. And you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because they knew you had a showcase. Then they were trying to talk to whoever. We are instinctively whores when we first move here.
Yeah.
It's not our fault. We're just whores. Not literally whores sucking dick, but we would do and put up with things we wouldn't usually put up with. Hey, you're going up 12th, but it's 9 o'clock. You're going to be up about midnight. Shit like that. And we buy into it. There's one day that you wake up and go, this is not going to happen no more.
Right.
And for me, it was an Arby's commercial. I did a Hardee's.
Uh-huh.
What's the other side of Hardee's?
Hardee's.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. I did 3 commercials in 3 weeks in a row, 3 nationals. And I was clean and sober from Coke. And when I got clean, I remember saying to myself, you know what? Before I was a fucking comic, I was a man bitch-slapping people. Enough with that dumb Hollywood game. If you got it coming to you now, I'm going to give it to you. And I remember having that frame thought and getting the Hardee's commercial and going down to Long Beach. The call was midnight. And I play a mobster with this other guy. And they put us in an SUV. And we had to pull up to shoot a guy. But when we got there, the guy was eating a chicken parmesan sandwich. And there was sauce on this thing. So he was passed out. We thought somebody got to him first. So we get there. Blah, 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 blah. Before I got the commercial, they're like, you're working with, Antonio Angelini, this tremendous director. He gets there with the assistant next to him. He's got the Pepe Le Pew hat, the shirt rolled up so you can see his tattoo.
Yeah.
My new philosophy is if I can tell you the director, I don't want to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
If you got that director garb on
Yeah,
here
I
with the
fucking agree.
Clint Eastwood hat and all that
Bullshit.
shit,
Yeah, I don't want
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I heard that, man.
If you got the costume on, I don't want to work with you.
Fucking douchebag.
I don't want to work with
So
you.
what happens on this?
Oh my God, Tom Segura, I'm off the powder. I'm just on reefer, and I'm a fucking savage. I get and they dress us up in these mafia outfits. They put lights inside the car. So when they would disconnect, they put the lights on, they must have disconnected the brake. So our job was to drive like 30 yards, stop, slam the door, and walk towards the car. Every time I'd slam the door, the car kept rolling. And they would say, cut. And the guy would go, what the hell's going on? Put the brakes on. And I'm like, I put the brakes on. The brakes aren't on. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. And again. And I put the emergency on. I get out, and the fucking car's rolling. This happened like 2 or 3 times. And the director kept saying, I don't know what the fuck is going on with you two, but somebody better figure it out. And finally, the guys went in there and tried to fix it. And again, I put it on. And the guy goes, you're not pulling it hard enough, you fucking dummy.
Oh, hell no.
And dog, I turned around. It must have been 2 in the morning. And I go, what'd you say, motherfucker? And he just froze, Tom.
Hell yeah.
And I walked towards him. I go, what'd you say, motherfucker? I go, listen, I'm not one of your punk white fucking friends here. I'll knock you the fuck out right now. He ran from me, the assistant, and the PA took him and ran him into his trailer, and he closed himself in there. And I walked to the trailer, I banged on the door, I go, you're not getting away with this one, bitch. I go, come out here and talk to me like a man. He goes, I'm on the phone with the whatever. We're replacing you. I go, it's 2 in the morning, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're never going to replace me at 2 in the morning. Come out here like a man. Then the AD came out. He said, walk away from the door. I go, and then the first AD came out and go, I'm calling the police. I go, call the police. Call the police. What are you going to do? Nothing happened here. It's just 2 men trying to talk. I go, come out of the fucking trailer and be a man. Then his little faggy assistant came out with the feather in her hat, and then he finally opened the door, and he goes, nobody has ever spoken to me like that. I go, and that's what your problem is. We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Right.
Yeah. You respect me, and I fucking respect you. That's what men do. But they've blown the smoke up your ass, and the assistant and all his people were there, and I'm going, you got to act like a fucking man. Okay? You don't talk to people that way.
Yeah, bro.
You talk to people like a fucking man. Where I come from, you get hit, and that's it. Let's finish this fucking commercial. Let's go. And I turned around. The guy followed me very meekly. We did like 8 takes, and he cut me. You could go home now. And I walked away, and I walked up and put my hand out, and he was still a cunt. He faggily put his hand out. And I go, you got to act like a man, dog. Okay? You got to be a man.
Yeah.
Forget this director shit. And as I got to the car, his assistant came up to me and she goes, thank you very much. Sometimes people forget what our main job is, to be human beings. Thank you. And she goes, I'm happy you did that. I'm very happy you did that.
You scared him to death.
I fucking told her. I was banging on the trailer. I go, come out here like a man. No fighting. This is about 2 men talking.
Yeah.
Come out here, but you don't call me a fucking dummy, bitch.
No.
Don't even ever say that to somebody on the set. You don't pay us enough.
Yeah.
And, he worked with me. Like I said, it took 1 more hour. After he was saying, we're going to work all night.
Yeah.
Till 6, just do the fucking cuts. Just do the 3. Enough. I'm not going to sit here all night and do fucking takes.
Oh,
Like when I did Go Daddy, they made me throw the pizza up 1,000 times till I said, that's it. No more. If you didn't get it by now, go back to USD fucking acting school and get a camera again. And they all looked at me, and I fucking went and sat down. That's it. Enough with this bullshit. You want to kill 4 hours, me throwing a pizza up in the air. Go
using
fuck
shots you're never going to use.
Yeah,
making us film shit you're never going to
And then you see the thing, and it's you moving, and you're like, I was there for 6 fucking hours.
I know. For what?
So ever since,
tell you, this business is so wasteful. This is the only business where everything is done last minute and they waste a tremendous amount of money. It's just gone down the fucking toilet. Oh, we need a llama for this thing tomorrow. Let's spend $50,000. Let's find the Wrangler. Let's change the set. When you're working on various projects, right? They don't have a call time for you until last fucking minute. It's so disrespectful. Fly him in, and then it's like, God, you're wasting money.
You're working all day tomorrow. Okay, and then you get there like, actually, you're not going to work today. You're like, what?
Yeah, I fucking flew.
We decided we moved some things around, and we found this. We want to do this shot. But we got to bring in this special light and it's like $45,000 to use it. And you're like, yeah, it is very like just impulsive.
And last minute,
yeah.
we gotta do this thing. Like, oh, okay, you don't
waste a lot of
you
time.
don't fucking think about that in advance.
Nothing bothers me more than that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you feel, by the way? This is totally off topic, but we've been having this debate about she taught our son, who's 3 years old, to say, I have to take a dump. And I'm like, come on. Now he's going to say it, teachers.
look at the smile on his face.
know, it's
He
funny.
already
I think
loves
it's
it.
funny.
It's funny. I think it's
See?
funny, too. But I also think about, like, people being like, what? You know, like adults treating him differently because he's speaking crass.
Well, here's the deal, guys.
Yeah,
Plain
yeah.
and simple.
Yeah.
You know why I got a potty mouth?
Why?
Because after 3, they thought it was cute. They really thought it was cute. But what it is it's irrevocable. What's that word?
Irrevocable?
Irrevocable?
You can't turn it back.
Yeah. So once he
you
goes
teach
down
your
that
kid
path.
fuck,
Oh, I didn't teach him
shit,
that. I'm not teaching him
dump.
that.
I tell Mercy, that, like when she takes a shower and she comes out, I go, did you wash your monkey? And she'll look at me. I go, did you wash your mufflers? She'll say, yes, Daddy. And she knows.
Right.
I don't think she goes to school and says, hey, I washed my monkey yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm no fucking angel either.
Yeah.
But I don't curse around her.
No,
Yeah.
well, listen, that's where I draw the line. We don't drop F-bombs. I don't say shit or go fuck yourself. Nothing like that. But I feel like dump is permissible. It's not really a bad word. It's crass.
As my daughter will call it, she's saying potty words, Daddy.
Potty words.
She calls me, she says potty words. I'm like, what type of words? You know, she won't say them. She's heard me. I slip with a shit from time
Of course.
to time.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
impossible.
But nothing else like that, nothing.
Now, I bet with your history of being an animal and the Coke days, you've been with some real fucking animals yourself, chicks that are real fucking questionable, right? There's definitely been some, but I want to show you this clip of this chick and tell me if she could get it back in Joey Diaz's crazy days. Go ahead. It's on an airplane.
Ah! Ugh.
She's licking the toilet seat
Ah,
on the
you
airplane.
nasty bitch.
It made Joey blush.
I mean, you could tell by her eyes that if this chick sucked your dick, she wouldn't leave you alone. Like you're dying. She's a stalker.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at her. Everybody molested her. Like
Yeah.
everybody. The
Is that what it
teachers, her
is?
father, the neighbor.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at her eyes. She's got crazy eyes. Everybody molested her. Everybody she bumped into did something to this girl. A finger in her ass. They threw holy water on her. They did everything they could. Look at her. She's fucking retarded. How the fuck are you gonna lick a fucking toilet seat? What the fuck
On
is
a
wrong
plane.
on a plane?
Oh, man.
That she'd be fun because you could just tell, listen, stick your tongue up my ass
Yeah.
and tongue it. I'm gonna jerk off on your hair.
Yeah.
And you're all in.
And she'd be like, all right.
All right. Yeah, that's the good thing.
Well, that's what's the benefit about her.
But-
She's down for anything.
But this filthy animal licks your tongue. You're gonna have an itchy asshole for 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna have to go to the doctor. And they're gonna put you in stirrups like they do to women, and open deep and put like a
What's
hat
in
with
there?
a camera and put cornstarch powder in your ass because you got rashes and shit.
She's so nasty.
That's a nasty bitch. Take that off, will you? I'd rather see a woman eat shit or something like that than lick a fucking.
That is
toilet
nasty.
seat.
That's one of the nastiest things I've
Yeah.
seen.
That's nasty,
that is
bro.
nasty.
I've never been with animals like that. I just dial 911. I throw them out or give them a lethal dose or something and shut them the fuck up for an hour.
I mean, isn't that one of the grossest things you've seen?
We've seen a lot of shit on the show. That has to be like top worst.
Yeah. And by the
That's
way,
bad.
I respect her. I think she's cool.
what
I
is there to
don't.
respect?
Yeah, what are you respecting, bro?
I just like
That's who fucking the owner of New England should have fucked. You see a
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
You give her 10,000. She's got to be retarded. Something. Somebody in her family's autistic. Something's going on. You give her 30 grand and you tell her, listen, after I fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. Just I'll cut a check to your family. They'll drop you off on the 170. You'll never find anybody. That's what you do with chicks like that.
Yeah.
Somebody in her family's dying from something.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
You give her the cash, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what he's
Cash.
going through.
Yeah.
For fucking some immigrant
Yeah.
that's got no paperwork for getting a rusty hand job from a
Yeah.
chick with dry hands in fucking Jupiter, Florida. Some fucking chin with dry hands in Jupiter, Florida. You ever got a hand job by somebody with dry hands? It ain't that nice, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that type of party. Fucking those little fucking human trafficking hands. They've been scratching at ships and fucking scratching at ships. I don't want to go. You're like that dude in the Apocalypse Now. Remember when they landed?
I'm gonna throw up.
Remember when they landed with the helicopter and the guy's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Get out there.
Oh, they just come into your house over there in Chinaville and they pull you out of You got your fingers in the dirt. They're pulling you by your legs. You're like the fag in fucking Narcos, the second season, when they buried him and they ripped him in half with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
The two fags were making out, swapping spit. Oh, and then he hit him in the head with the bottle and they fucking tore his arm apart.
Jesus Christ. You guys are fucking crazy.
Who gives a fuck? I'm 50. Listen, who gives a fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
I'm 56. What am I going to do? Gonna take my career away?
One question, though. What is she trying to show?
How nasty she is.
She's just nasty.
She's like,
it's like
that she's a filthy motherfucker.
Like sexually nasty or just nasty?
Look, she's just
Look what it
nasty.
says. That's her own quote there.
Right, because she's gross.
It says, if you're listening, it says, she captioned, licking the airplane toilet because I'm gross like that. So, yeah, she put it out
she
there.
nasty as hell.
How's the Flying Jew, by the way?
Let me tell you something. I would have her suck my asshole while I stuck my fungi toe in her pussy because it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? After that, her pussy would look like a fucking. I just put my whole Fred Flintstone foot into her pussy like a cannon. Got it like George Washington shot it with a cannon.
Are your feet nasty?
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Not that I do. I put cream on my feet and shit. But I got a fungi toenail.
The toenails are tough.
And I
Once
got to buff it
starts-
down. I love buffing it. Like once I do it on the road, I do it in their hotel room. I got the whole kit. I got the zzz with the fucking grater.
And you see the dust just go flying.
Oh, I save it and I put it together into a circle like a little volcano and then I smell it. Sometimes I put it in a baggie and save it and sprinkle it in somebody's fucking house or something. That little fungi fucking toe dust.
You're so nasty, Joey Diaz.
You have to do shit. I cut the nails, and then you got to go under the nail and take the fungi out.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
the
gonna
nail,
throw up.
the fungi grows
got
under the
nauseous.
nail. So I got to cut it and then scrape it.
Ooh.
And it comes out. I do it on
gonna
this.
puke.
I do it
Thanks
on
for
like
asking that.
I do it like on a black piece of paper, and then I scraple it all up.
You
and
travel with a black piece of paper
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
the shredder.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen to me. I got like an 8-ball of toe dust now with toenails.
What do you do with
Your
that
poor
shit?
wife.
I just look at it for a little while, and then I rub it, and I smell it, and then I fucking throw it away, and I wash
I'm gonna
it.
fucking puke. I'm gonna throw up, dude.
I got the machine that you buff the nail.
Yeah.
And then the powder falls all over my other toes.
Moving along. Does your
Anyway.
wife see you do this shit?
No.
No, you keep it from her. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no.
nice of you.
Yeah. God. I'm so curious. I've never met your wife.
My wife is dynamite.
I just want to
She's
see
the opposite.
who's married to Joey
She's
Diaz.
the opposite of me completely.
Well, actually, she
Southern.
was on Leanne Kreischer's podcast,
Yeah,
Wife of
she
the Party.
was?
So if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to know about her,
Yeah,
she's on a
yeah.
recent
Wait,
episode.
she was on Leanne's podcast?
Yes.
Wife of the Party. Yeah, you
I
can
got it,
hear
I got
it.
what it's like to be married to Joey Diaz.
I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. She's cool as shit, my wife. I like my wife.
I'm probably
A lot of people
Good.
don't like their wife. I like my wife.
Yeah, you should like
I have a
her.
nice relationship with my wife.
But
Nah, she's cool as shit. I live in
So
a
ungrateful.
I live in a really
Jesus
peaceful
Christ.
fucking house,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is very rare where I came from. Every
Yeah.
house in the neighborhood, you had yelling and screaming and arguments and people walking in at 2 a.m. My house is very
Same way. I don't want any fucking drama. No chaos, dude.
For
I don't do
years,
it.
I dreamt of how I wanted to live, and now I'm living that way.
That's
which is
awesome.
peaceful.
Yeah.
I know my schedule. I go out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Oh, that's good.
Friday night's date night. I gotta
Okay.
get her out. She's got to talk to some adults. and
Yeah.
I take her for Cuban food in Silver Lake.
Okay.
We stop at a Starbucks. We're home by 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
You know,
We always do early dates.
we try to go somewhere like some restaurant, some different. We went to the Italian joint, got the meatball 2 weeks ago.
Go.
So every Friday we do something. Saturdays you got to do some comedy somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, you do the 9:15 at the store. Maybe jump on the belly room.
Yeah.
Then you split.
Do that.
And yeah,
In the same way, I'm home.
20 years.
In bed by 10.
What do you want to talk about?
Nah.
What do you call me? Just call me. I'm going to sit down there and talk. It's very nice to go down there and see people. Like on Tuesday nights when I'm driving down there, I'm very excited to go down there and watch Christine's act.
Yep.
You know, I like to go down there, get high before I leave the house, And by the time I get down there, I'm really tuned up. I get a water and I sit in those back chairs. And I try to watch the 4 acts before me with nobody bothering me, just to see what you're up to. Bert Kreischer, last week was Marin, Ali Wong, and then me. I get to see.
So you'll watch different acts.
Dalia. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't want to watch on TV. I really don't want to watch it.
Can I tell you something? I've known you for so long, and you look amazing right now.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Very hard.
What are you doing? Because doesn't he look healthy?
He works out.
Cryotherapy,
You look great.
water.
Jiu-jitsu. He's doing his boxing.
The biggest thing I learned from Rogan in the last 10 years was the episode he had about the guy about sleep.
I was thinking about that episode yesterday. I was.
That episode changed my life, and that book changed my life.
What is it so people can get it?
I'm on
What's the book?
Sleeping While We Sleep. Something weird. I learned a lot from when I had the sleep apnea. But now I've taken it up to a level. I got the same problem Tom has. You get home at 11 o'clock from the comedy store, you eat an apple, you eat a banana, you try to unwind. You're not just going to go in and kick your shoes off and lay down after 2 spots at the store.
Yeah, I know.
You go down, you get on the computer, look at Twitter, thank them for coming to the store. You look at I did good tonight, I got to change this joke around. And then you have that lull. And I'm the type of guy, if I go in the living room and Man on Fire is on, that's it. I get up, I get the fucking cold cuts out.
Yeah.
I get a Coke Zero, and I watch the fucking movie. I go during commercials, or I'll stop it. I'll go hit the bong and the thing. And now it's 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And now at 2 o'clock, guess what's coming on? Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, that's my favorite.
So now I got to sit here and watch this fucking thing. Because how am I going to go to sleep? Who the fuck am I to go lay down while fucking Jackie Gleason's on?
So funny.
Who died and left me boss? So
Yeah.
The other night I was going on, not the other night, I was on the road and Splash was on it too.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
John Candy's best.
Yeah.
John Candy was just brilliant.
And on the road,
Yeah.
I will watch it till like 4.
Well, on the road.
That's different.
See, I love
Yeah.
flying in Thursday.
Yeah.
And then doing that show Friday. And then that Friday, you just tell people, what are you doing tomorrow?
Nah.
Do you want to do lunch? Listen, go away. I don't want to do nothing. I'll call you when I wake up because I'm going to go back and I'm going to have a film festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got a little bit of food. I get those protein bars
Uh-huh.
and I put them in my sacks with those protein milkshakes. I put them in my sack. And that's the only night that I go off the reservation.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get so fucking high. Like, I don't do the vapor pens at home. I only bring them on the road. So when I go on the road with them, I get high in my room. You know, sometimes whatever. But when I'm home, Jack, there's no 10:30 fucking main room shows in my world. None of that shit, because that starts at 11. And next you know, I'm walking in my house at 12:15. That means 2.
Yeah.
And in my house, you wake up at 6:15, whether you like it or not, Monday
Same.
through Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in our position, we got to get 8. Me, if I could do 7, 11:30, 12 to 7, sometimes I'll sleep till 7, get up, jump in the shower, have a cup of coffee, talk with her for 15, 20 minutes, and then maybe they go to school and I write for an hour, and then I go to kickboxing at 9. I do that shit early to get it out of the way, you know. But the sleep has been the
Sleep
main
is
one.
so huge.
Sleep is fucking huge. If you're dieting and you're not sleeping, you're not losing weight. If you're lifting weights and you're not sleeping, you're not fucking re-tearing it back up. So if anything, I blame it on sleep.
Yeah, that episode, by the way, I don't know what it is, but if you just Google Joe Rogan sleep expert, this guy in the first few minutes of that episode, that guy has you thinking about, is it episode 1109? That's what it is, yeah. It's JRE 1109. I forget, I don't know what the guy's name. He's a sleep expert and a neuroscientist. Man, that dude, in the first few minutes, he starts explaining what happens to your brain and your body without having great sleep.
And I didn't sleep for 30, for 27.
Holy shit, really?
For 27, I did blow.
Wow.
Oh.
Our own Chris, who's working here, that was his professor in school. Was it really?
Yeah, that was definitely my professor in school.
What's the name of the book?
Name?
Matt Walker.
Okay. What's the name of the book?
Do you know the name of the book?
What is the name of the book? I didn't catch that.
The Thing of Sleep.
If you look up Matt Walker.
Science of Sleep or something.
Yeah.
So I got to watch everything because if I drink too much water, then I'm up and down peeing all
Yeah,
night.
me too. That's a big problem.
So that's the big thing. So now if I go to bed 11:30,
Why we sleep? That's right.
while we sleep,
Okay.
I could sleep till 6. So I pee and then I don't have nothing going through
That's
my mind.
lucky. It's good.
I go back, close my eyes, and I try to get one more hour.
The last 2 nights I've slept so well. And I feel
me
different.
too.
You have to. That's. You could eat well, you could do everything, but if you're not, remember when I first started the podcast, I was doing it at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I know. I was telling Tom that. One time you go, Christine, you want to be on my show? I'm going to call you at 6 a.m. I was like, I don't wake up at 6 a.m., bro.
4:45 I was getting up. So this is what I was doing then. I was getting up at 4:45 Monday, 4:45 Wednesday, 4 on Thursday to fly out, and then Friday radio.
Dude. And what time were you going to bed usually?
No whatever. No restraint. 1s, 2s.
What?
Netflix, documentaries, this, that, YouTube concerts. Now everything gets shut down.
But why were you waking up so early if you didn't have to? Did you have
Because
the baby?
I read the Howard Stern book years ago, and he said that when he did radio, he always wanted to get to you first.
Right.
That's the reason why he did morning radio, was to get to you first. I was trying to build a podcast, so I wanted to get to you first.
Oh, that's interesting.
That
I never
was
thought
the
of that.
reason why I was doing that for so long. I wanted to get to you first. It lasted about 2 years. We did it. At
I
6
couldn't
in the
believe it.
fucking
I
morning.
couldn't believe it. I did it once. I called in. You were like,
Yeah.
I'll call you at 6. I was like,
And
what
it was
the
like,
fuck?
and it was, and then I started thinking about it, and it was too much like morning radio.
Yeah.
What I was trying to avoid, I had become. So now, like, I consider a podcast a wiretap. A podcast should be a wiretap. I see all these people wasting valuable time on a fucking podcast, and I go, they play games, they do this, they call it, just talk. People just want to hear a wiretap. That's all we are. What we would say behind closed doors.
Is what they want to hear.
For sure.
That's what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear if you edit me out. Oh, he said chin chin. Or he said this. That's not what they want to fucking hear.
No.
They want to hear the wiretap.
Yeah.
They want to hear a fucking wiretap.
For sure.
A conversation between two fucking guys or a woman or what we would talk about. you know?
It's true.
It's pretty fucking
Now, by the
interesting.
way, do you have any interest? Do you kind of just watch from the sidelines how things are starting to gear up for 2020 elections, and all these people are coming into the mix? Like, different people are announcing that they're going to. Right now, the pool. I don't know if you've seen the Democratic pool. It is
There's
like
me.
it's huge, right?
I know, a lot of
every
chicks.
day they're announcing like all these different senators and former governors, Congress people. But there's other people that are announcing that they're going to run for president too. Like I don't know if you've seen this guy right here. He just announced.
Hi everyone, this is Michael Arthur Taylor Jr. I am a retiree. I am running for president of the United States.
Good.
For
And fucking Brody hung himself. And this guy's still fucking walking around telling people. Here's the problem we have. Poor Brody, rest his soul. And this guy wants to run for president. This guy can't get to the fucking store without falling down 2 times. And he wants to run for president. And the fact that somebody taped him and let this fucking moron get the platform. Like if this guy called you up and said, come over. I want you to tape me. I'm going to run for president. Yeah, I'll be there in 2 hours. I'd send the mental health people over there. Like, listen, go over there and just bandage him up. He's talking about killing themselves and taking out a fucking Rouse.
Right. And then somebody had to upload this to YouTube. Also.
Yeah, like all this
Some
shit.
asshole helped him do that.
Listen, you know what the thing is?
Fucking
Like,
assholes.
when I came from Cuba, I looked at the presidents. You had your Nixons, you had your fucking, I can't even remember.
You had
your
Ford,
Ronald Reagan, you had Ford. All of them look like presidents.
Yeah.
And then Clinton came along and he got his dick sucked and something happened. And not that nobody else got their dick sucked.
Yeah.
He came along and it became something else. Bush didn't have it. I think Bush had it, but he didn't. Then the son, he definitely didn't fucking have it. We don't have presidents anymore. We got a bunch of jokesters.
Yeah,
That's what we
nobody
got.
in the pool is exciting.
Nobody's exciting, but nobody has a presence.
Yeah.
Joe Biden has a presence, but he's 2,000 years old. He's, you know, you hit him with a challenge, you know, the Koreans are coming. They'll fucking die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that guy never even had Korean food. You know what I'm saying? He's never been to Koreatown, that poor bastard. So these guys, you know, I need a 55-year-old that's strong, tough, virile, handsome. He'd come across.
I like a military guy. I kind of like John McCain.
Oh, like a
now,
big
looking
throwback
back.
to like a, or like if a Mattis actually ran, you know, the guy, General Mattis, who was secretary. Guy like that who's like, we haven't had a general in a while. I think
that's what I like.
You know who I wanted?
Man's man.
There was only, I don't vote. I'm a felon.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's right, I
vote.
forget.
But there was only one motherfucker I would have ever voted for. His name was Ross Perot.
Oh yeah,
I would have voted for
I remember
Here's
Ross.
why we got a Here's why we have a debt.
I read his
Ross.
book when I was in prison, and I was never more impressed. When you
Really?
read his book on Wings of Eagles, it is one. If you really, really, really are an American, if you really believe that we should fuck motherfuckers up when they slip, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's him.
Fuck motherfuckers up.
Yeah.
Like Perot was our guy. Perot's claim to fame was he owned this company. I don't know what they did.
I remember.
And his people got kidnapped in the Iran-Iraq situation or something. Correct me, I'm not a fucking historian.
Yeah.
And I read this book in '88. But he went to Kissinger and he went to all the heads of state and they said they really couldn't help him. And he said, okay. And he went to the people's families and he goes, I'm going to have your family back by Christmas Day. And he went and he searched for the highest ranking retired fucking killer that the military ever had. Like he paid like $10 million. Give me the fucking codes. I want somebody who's killed 1,000 Japs, Vietnamese. He's killed everybody, Cubans.
Yeah.
I want a guy with no conscience. And he took that guy that was played by, in the movie, because they did a movie about it, he was played by a tough white dude to train his employees. So think if you're an IT guy, like, and I come in and go, get up. Let's go shoot a fucking grenade missile. He trained his guys. He trained his own employees because Ross Perot sold them on it. Those are your brothers over there. How can you sit on that fucking desk and eat fucking crackers? Let's go. He trained them, and Christmas Eve, the 23rd, around there, they went over there and they saved his employees, and he had the people back to their families.
No shit.
Something the government wouldn't even do because they don't want to cause problems.
Yeah.
Wow.
Perot got in some trouble for it. So he had some backlash.
Yeah.
But in my world, I want that backlash. You went to a family and told them no matter what, even if I got to buy helicopters, I will go over and take them myself. Takes a certain type of man to do that. He would have been a scary president.
Yeah.
There would have been like 2 countries left. If he was the president, it would have been like us and England. He would have blown everybody else up. Africa, Iran, the Israelis would still be around because he would have teamed up with, you got to team up with Jews.
Yeah.
Them Jewish people know a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? Them Palestinians, just take them out right now. There would have just been parking lots all over this fucking empty fucking places smoking.
I remember like those.
He wasn't going to fuck around.
Larry King. He was like, now Larry. He would, here's the problem right here, Larry. he would. It sounded like someone's uncle, you know, just shooting the shit.
He was little. He was a little nerd.
And then at the end of everything, he would go, by the way, American people, they're paying for this with your money.
Yeah.
I'm paying for this with my money.
That's right. He was self-funded.
I saw what he was making at one time. Guys, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
At one time, they broke down what he was making a day.
It's got to be insane.
It was insane. Like, he had that much money. He's still alive.
By the way, did this guy have some platform that he was running on?
Who, Ross Perot?
No. The guy that announced his running for president.
Yeah, the fucking Momo platform.
What's he actually say?
Who's this?
I don't know.
Look at him. Whoa. Can you imagine the other 4 idiots now? Who's going to be his vice president? A guy with a hat with a propeller on it. They're going to sit there all day. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Get the fuck out of here. You got to drive me crazy with this shit.
For being freedom for freedom. And I am taking the wall down.
Oh, he's taking the wall. Okay.
Oh,
so he's got an immigration policy. That's interesting to know.
The wall no need to be up in Mexico. The reason this is the United States
You're going straight
of
to
America.
hell. You know that. You're going to hell, Tom.
Who's going to hell? This guy.
He's
Let me tell
going
you.
to hell.
Can you imagine this poor bastard giving his first speech, and all of a sudden you just hear, and you see half his head fly off and shit, and he's still alive. I think we need a wall. Let me tell you something. They could put up 20 walls. Those Mexicans, they're worse than the Vietnamese. They'll dig up.
Yeah.
They'll dig it up, dog. I don't even know.
You can't stop that shit.
You can't stop
You can't
people
stop
from
it. You
doing
can't-
what they're going to fucking do.
You can't stop people what they've been doing for the last 200 years.
No.
They know shit about that fucking border that we don't have a fucking clue.
You ever been to a checkpoint, Charlie, in Berlin? You ever go to Germany and Berlin?
Oh, you gotta see me. I'm over there all the time, hanging out with Nazis. That's what I do. I go over there and talk about Jews with the Nazis. No.
If you ever get a chance, you gotta go to Berlin.
I go to Berlin, I tap them on the shoulder. What do you think of those Jews, huh? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't go to Germany.
But if you ever end up in Berlin, you got to see the checkpoint, Charlie. It's the place where you could cross between East and West Berlin because they built a wall. That's what they fucking did after the end of the war, whatever.
The Krauts.
The Krauts did it, yeah. And you would see there's a museum right there, and it shows exactly how everybody fucked the wall, basically. Like, people would sneak in, they'd build compartments, secret compartments in trunks. They build secret compartments under cars and carriages, and people still fucking snuck in. I mean, there's museums dedicated to it, so you can't stop anybody.
No.
It's never gonna fucking.
No, you can't. You can't
jump over it, get shot. People fucking.
They'll just
Those
do
Mexicans. Did you watch that last season of Narcos?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah,
Diego Luna.
Awesome, amazing,
just tremendous. But it tells you that they didn't give a fuck. They'll build tunnels.
Yeah, man.
They'll go down they'll figure out submarines. They don't give a fuck. It's such a, you got to pick your battles. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have nothing against the wall. If you think the wall is that discriminating, build the fucking wall. But you're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop it, you know? And I'm not even, I don't even like talking politics. So
now, humans are so resilient, they'll just figure out a way to get there. My parents escaped from Hungary in '69 when the Russians were
Bro,
fucking
those
with
Mexicans
them.
are building a hot air balloon as we speak right now.
Of course, dude.
But that they can fucking inflate with a butane lighter, like 3 Mexicans by themselves, and a little fucking thing that pops after fucking an hour. They're just building shit. They're already countering the wall. They're already planning how the fuck they're gonna zip through the wall.
Oh yeah. And by the way, the way that people, whenever somebody faces any barrier of something they want to do, there's always another way, man.
Of course.
There's gonna be another way. You could put up a 100-foot wall, and there would be a new way, just a new way in.
Of course. My parents figured out a way to escape from communist Hungary, where kids were ratting out their own parents to the KGB, and your fucking family would get taken away in the middle of the night and thrown into prison. And my parents were like, fuck this place, we're out of here.
Now, how'd they get out of there?
So they took a train to Yugoslavia. They got caught. They got deported, sent back. And instead of getting on the train and going back to Budapest, my parents were like, yeah, we'll go back. And they got off at the first stop. You know what I'm saying? So they took a train into Yugoslavia. They get caught at the border. The guy says, go back. But they don't. They got off at that first stop after. And then they pay a guy with the guineas. They find a guy in Yugoslavia that can get them to Italy. So they wait, meet this guy. The guy gets them over to Italy. And then they're in a camp in Italy for about a year and change until
like
the Catholic Church, an internment camp. And so, and the Americans came over to my parents. They said, oh, you guys are from Hungary? Tell us what the Russians are doing. Because my dad was in the military in Hungary. And they said, if you can show me a map of what the base looks like. He goes, of course, yeah. Here it is. Here's where the Russians do this. This is where the Russians do that. And I think because my dad helped the Americans and whatever, I don't know, somehow we got taken to Canada. We got passed to Canada. And
my favorite part about that, though,
I was born there.
Yeah, she was born in Canada, and then one day he was just like, America, I want to go to America. Yeah. And then they just drove in and...
My parents?
Yeah.
No, well, he got sponsorship to work at a factory in Detroit.
But he was still supposed to go back to Canada.
Right.
And then one day he's like, fuck that.
But that's immigrant stuff, dude. That's what Joey's talking about.
We just
you see the loophole, and you're like, fuck you.
My mother went to a party with her younger sister. My aunt was 13, Rosita, And my mother was about 15 and 16. And they went to a party with three of their brothers. And my mom was dancing, and she lost sight of Rosita. And she went outside, and she went around the thing, and some guy was raping my aunt.
No.
A taxi driver. So my mom broke the bottle and stabbed him in the back and ripped his back apart. The guy died in the middle of the night, so they had to get my mother out of Cuba. So here's my mother, 15, 16 years old. In those days, you just went to the fucking airport. And she went to Chicago first. She landed in Miami, went to Chicago to see a relative. They didn't want her. She ended up in New York. We had another, uncle in New York. And she stayed with her cousin for a few days, and it was a fucking nightmare. And she met a Puerto Rican girl named Goying. And they started running numbers together when they were kids for a neighborhood bookie. And then they both got together and opened up a little bank and started making a little money. But my mother wanted to go back to Cuba and see her parents. So she snuck back into Cuba with Goying's mother's identification. There was no passports at that time, whatever the fuck they used. I don't even know if there was passports. So my mother entered Cuba with the name of Sophia Cecilio. Stayed in Cuba for 4 fucking years. Had my sister, and then had me. Stayed in Cuba with that fake fucking thing. And in 1966, she came back into the States as Sophia Cecilio. And that name stuck. So she just went and got a Social Security card. And she lived the rest of her life like Sophia Cecilio. People would call her Sophia. You go, why are they calling you Sophia? She goes, just mind your business.
And what was her real name?
Denora.
Hilarious.
Tuero, Valdez. I'm a Valdez. She switched it to fucking Sophia Cecilio. But don't laugh. When my mother died, I couldn't collect Social Security.
Oh.
Because my mom didn't work. She worked enough quarters,
yeah,
but under a different name.
Oh, man.
That's why I want to apply for a passport. Because I might get stopped and said, wait a second. You know what I'm saying?
Especially now.
Especially now.
Yeah, I get that.
So you you don't go to Canada, nothing?
I don't do GOTS. And
do you do
at this point, I don't want to do nothing.
Do you do border kind of shows?
Detroit,
you do,
Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that's it. I don't go nowhere just in case they do the paperwork. And next thing you know, I got some felonies and some outstanding fines and shit like that. But they're in no danger of seeing those because I got to pay the fines if I want a passport.
Yeah.
But I really don't want a passport, to be honest with you. So I give a fuck. I'm never going back to Seattle or Idaho. So
yeah,
they want to come down here and get me, be my guest.
Jesus, man. Unreal.
Be my fucking guest. The immigration world is because you have to listen to 2 sides of it. That's why me being an immigrant, I have natural compassion for any immigrant.
Yeah.
Look what's going on now in Venezuela. You want your friends to be a part of that. I mean, you're half Latin, Tom.
Yeah.
This is our blood. Look what's going on in Venezuela. The same conflicts. There's some place in Syria they're running away from. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And listen, we have good and bad in every race. Sorry. There's white people that'll fucking do anything for you, and then there's white people that'll pay $500,000 so the retarded cunt daughter can get into a fucking Ivy League school so they can go to parties and say, my little missy's at USC. She's as dumb as a box of fucking rocks. Okay? She's dumb as fuck. But she's at USC. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who are proud of that. And you look at that, and when I see that, you know who I feel fucking bad for? And I'm saying it just this way so nobody gets offended. I feel bad for spick little nigger kids and little Chinese kids who work fucking hard, do 1,000 fucking things, and now somebody cuts in fucking line. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for somebody who really needs it, or somebody who came from fucking Hungary.
Yeah.
Who just wants to fucking be an engineer. Do you remember when you started comedy, how you would go back after your first year and you wanted to do things and it was frustrating? Think of what an immigrant's mind is about.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what now, Japan, China, Vietnam, they come here and they buy the American dream and they just want to get into a fucking college.
I know.
Any college. And here comes fucking Full House.
Yeah.
With the fucking
bitch.
husband and Macy and his fucking cunt wife. And, for $15,000, to put her in a room to take her SAT. Let me tell you something. You take a course to take your SAT. There's a course.
Yeah,
I know, and I was
offer.
stupid as fuck in that too.
And you take it, and you could take it how many times? 2 or 3 your SATs.
Yeah.
And you pick the highest score. So for 15,000, you just threw away 15 for what? So they had her in a room with a mentor to give her the
You know what
answers.
the other bullshit thing is too? The the people who did that paid, they paid for their kids to get like near perfect scores.
Right.
They couldn't even settle for like these are pretty good scores. They're like, make it, what's the perfect 1600? Make it 1520. So now you're pretending that the kids are fucking not smart, like genius level. You know, it was like the boldness and the balls to have to take it to that level, you know, to me is like, I don't know. I think if you're going to play it cheat like that smart.
But then how did they cheat the grades? Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I don't know how they cheated the grades. I don't know. I know that these were different cheats. One of them cheated the SAT and the ACT.
Right.
And then
they said they have a learning disability and that they need extra time.
Oh yeah, that was the other. That was
SAT.
one of the cheats. Is that if you actually do have a learning disability, you can get like a solo extra time for the test.
Right, and like one proctor watches
So
you, and they
bribe
really
that
watch.
person to have a solo room, and then that guy corrected all the answers. The other one, there was more levels to it. It was like a real conspiracy where they were paying coaches and
photoshopping pictures,
office, like all kinds of shit.
There was one chick at
elaborate.
USC that took 1.3 million in bribes. She's doing 20 years.
Yeah.
There's nobody who can get her out of that. That's 20 years.
Yeah.
That's 10 years nonviolent. They put you in a house in Pasadena. You can't have a bank book no more. It's that's what breaks my heart. Listen, when I was doing my little scam at the University of Colorado, yeah, I was a
Full
loser.
circle now.
I was a loser, and I wanted an education, and I fucked around a little bit, but I did the work, and I really wanted it. And it broke my heart after I got the felony and I couldn't go back on campus. It really did. It would have meant a lot to me, you know, if I could have got a half a college degree, something, you know. But I got to look at you guys and tell you I'm a criminal. I've never cheated on a fucking test. Maybe like in the 6th grade, I wrote the answers on my hand. But besides that, I did the fucking work. You know, I quit high school my junior year. My senior year, I had to quit. There was no mommy and daddy. I had to quit. Broke my heart. Put me in a different category mentally. What it does to your psyche. It was just horrible.
Were you working senior year or no?
I was doing whatever I had to do. Roll a truck, load a truck, you know, fucking paint.
Yeah.
I was trying to do things, work for a bookie, you know. But it broke my fucking heart. That's why when I went to Aspen, I tried to sign up for those night classes. And then when I got arrested, they forced me to take my GED. Because if you have a GED, it counts against your sentence. If you don't have a high school diploma, you have points.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point system. Did you have a job when you got arrested? Did you have a high school diploma? Are you married? There's all these point systems. So when I got arrested, my point system was 1.5. That automatically puts you in a halfway house. But I had a 4-year sentence, so you're only eligible for a halfway house at the 18-month point. So I still had to do 6 months to get it down to 18 months. I had already done 2 in county, so that counts for 4. So I pretty much got to prison eligible for a halfway house.
Wow.
Because I had my GED. I was working at the time of my arrest. There's all these different things that you have to fill out to get you. You know, when you go to prison, when you come out, I could have just signed the box and been disabled. You do know that?
No.
When you go to prison, you come out of prison, you claim disability.
Really?
Yeah, nobody's going to hire me. Mental disability. I get $800 a month in a parking spot for the rest of your life. I didn't want to do that. You know how many people do that?
A lot.
Then they get the food stamps. Then they get the other aid. And they'll walk out of prison with $1,200 a month. That's all they'll be able to make the rest of their life or work off the books. But that's how easy it is. I know in '88 it was. Maybe now you got to piss in a bottle or whatever to get welfare. You can milk it. Once you get out of prison, you could say that you're disabled.
But you didn't want that.
I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
I wanted to never have a ceiling over my head. Like I could never work for a salary.
Yeah.
I was always a salesman. You know, this week we made 16. Next week we'll make 8, but the week after that I'll come back with a $2,000 week. I never wanted a ceiling over my income. That was very important to me. But I also knew I didn't want a day job either.
Yeah.
I always knew I didn't want a day job. I wanted to be able to have a job that 1 year I can make $60,000, and the second year I can make 90, and the third I can make 150 because I controlled my sales.
Did you go to prison, by the way, in Colorado? It was. Oh, it was there.
I was in Colorado, a place called Canyon City for diagnostic, where they fucking tap into your head. They see what's going on in your head, and they do all these testing, and then you go to a certain facility.
Was your prison, because it was back, I don't know if it was the same now, was it all super segregated like you hear about now? You know what I mean? Whites over here, Latins over here.
It's so weird. It was segregated, but I broke that segregation.
Really?
And I made the guys that hung out with me break that segregation. Like, it's weird that I'm married to a Terry Clark, because my best friend in prison was a guy named John Clark, who hated blacks, chinks, Spanish, Jews, Hungarians. He was white power.
Yeah.
But when he hung with me, he had to hang out with 3 yams, because I ran with 3 black dudes who I loved and gave my life for. So there was a guy that looked like Josh Potter that was the librarian. He looked just like Josh Potter.
Yeah.
He was a librarian. He was from Buffalo, New York also.
Jesus.
Yeah, he shot his wife and the mailman.
Oh, that sounds like Josh Potter.
It turned into a federal.
Yeah.
So our crew was me, him, John Clark, who was like heavy-duty white supremacy, but not really. He went between the bikers and the white guys. He had the tattoos and shit. Me and him had visitation together because we both were supervisors in the kitchen. So we wouldn't take visitation on Saturdays and Sundays. We'd take visitation on Monday and Tuesday so I could eat some pussy.
Yeah.
Because then I thought I'd make my girlfriend at the time show up with a dress with no panties on. Oh. And you and your wife would be on the other side of the, it'd just be 2 of us. If you took visitation on the weekend, I got to sit next to somebody. I can't finger my wife or nothing.
Yeah.
But on Mondays and Tuesdays, I was slinging dick, eating ass,
Yeah.
shooting a load.
Yeah.
And then she would bring me groceries, and I'd go back to my thing. So me and John were tight.
Yeah.
Then I was tight with a guy named Spencer Antoine, a black dude who fucking sliced the guy up, and he had a really good attorney, so he had involuntary manslaughter, like he killed him at a party.
Yeah.
He was tight with me. But the best dude that was my brother was this guy, Etchy. He was a professional bank robber. And if I think back about this, he's the first guy that talked to me about stand-up.
Really?
Like, he taught me about throwing your voice. This is a funny story.
Yeah.
We were talking one night. We couldn't do drugs in there because they drug tested you. But you could do acid. So we would do acid and meet at a certain bunker. Me, the 2 black dudes, and we would do John Clark and the librarian. The librarian was a deep guy. He liked doing acid and all this shit. And he would talk to you about Venus and all this stuff. But one day we were talking, and this guy, Etchy, was his name. He's like, man, Mama, I've been in here for too motherfucking long and shit. My freezers are slipping. And I'm like, freezer? And he goes, you know, my motherfucking freezers. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was telling me that when you go into a bank or a liquor store to rob somebody, how you say freeze is very important.
Oh.
It's got to be very, like, freeze! Like, it's got to be very intimidating, because if you don't say it the right way, people get kind of fucking tough. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And he goes, one time me and my brother went in to rob a bank, and my motherfucking brother had a cold and shit. And he yelled freeze, but his voice cracked, and the motherfucker pulled out a gun and shit. I had to shoot him in the leg. I mean, I looked at his police report. He had shot like 80 people. This guy was in jail 80% of his life, but he was hilarious.
My freezers are slipping.
So he would tell me, man, I got to work on my motherfucking freezers. I'm getting out of here in like 6 months and shit. I got to get back to work. So I go like, so what can I do to help you?
What can I do to help you?
Let me know when people are gathered. And I could try my shit out on them. You know what I'm saying? So I go, well, we'll start in the cafeteria first. So he would come in, look at me, and I go, and everybody would be online getting their food, and there'd be people sitting eating, and he would kick the door down and go, freeze, motherfuckers, and white people would duck and shit. And he would come up to me. I told you. I got to work on my motherfucking freezers and shit.
That is the
So
best.
I would wait on Saturdays when the black dudes would play dominoes in the laundry room, and they'd be listening to fucking who's Whitney Houston's husband?
Yeah, Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
Yeah.
Like I was in prison when that album came out, and the brothers would be dancing Don't Be Cruel, and I would run over to Etchy and go, Etchy, I got like 20 brothers gathered. He goes, where the fuck are they? I go there in the laundry room. He would march down there to the back door, and I go in there in the front and be hanging out with the brothers, and all of a sudden the door would kick open, and he'd go, freeze! And all the black dudes would duck and go, you black motherfucker, you almost gave us a heart attack. And Etchy would put his arm around me, and he'd go, man, if you could scare niggas, you could scare anybody. And I used to go, Etchy, you kill me. And he'd run that drill every fucking Saturday. He'd run. If white dudes were cooking, he'd kick down the door, freeze! And they would, God damn it, you again? And then he would come up to me, he's like, I'm getting my freezers back up. And shit, you know?
That's one of my favorite stories I've ever
Oh
heard.
my God, Etchy.
I'm working on my freeze.
I'm working on my freezers and shit.
Working on my freezes.
Yeah. By the way, you know Potter. Did you know that he can't come?
Where?
Josh Potter can get it up.
And he can't ejaculate.
With a girl. No.
Tremendous. That's even better.
He wants to, though.
Who wants to come?
He wants to.
I want to drill a hole in their fucking eyes that they can't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? When you're fucking them and their one eyeball is hanging out. And they're like, when are you going to come? Because I come quick.
Yeah.
I come in a minute. So if I could come in...
Right there with you, brother.
If I could come in 20 minutes and just keep giving you dick going from pussy to asshole to mouth, back to your fucking pussy.
Jeez, Joey.
Drill it back
That's
to
what
your
you're
ass.
doing? That's
no,
what you're
but
doing?
that's my fantasy. If I couldn't come for an hour, hitting you in the face, making you suck it, popping it out, hitting you, you're like confused. You don't know where you're going.
Licking
So he's
toilets.
never come?
He's right here. He's right there. Talk to him.
That's how it usually goes, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. It's an hour of fucking straight
But he can only come if he jerks off. He can't.
Okay, then when you want to come after the chick is laying there like she got shot in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Like she's laying there, the one leg is hanging, you know what I'm saying? Her mouth is stretched out, her asshole, it's still open like a dragon's mouth. You know when you fuck them in the asshole stays open.
Do I?
And then just laying there drinking milk, trying to recoup and shit. You're giving them like Gatorade, then you just jerk off on the tits. And call it a night.
There you go, man. Why are we even trying to solve this problem?
Dude, I don't think it's a problem anymore.
It's not a problem.
You don't?
No, yeah.
No.
I don't, Joey's convinced me. I mean, I want to just mangle some.
If you told
brothers.
3 chicks that you couldn't come, that you could give them each dick for an hour, you could get all 3 of them to show up at once and just keep going like Don Henley style. You ever read that book? You won't work in this town again. It came out in '98 about a hooker who wrote about all her experiences, and she wrote about Don Henley. That she would go to Don Henley would order 4 bitches, and he would sit there in this table like this was his table, and that's a fireplace. He would make them bend over. Don't even look at me. He wouldn't even let them look at him. Just look towards the fireplace and bend over. And he'd do lines of coke, and then get up, open up his robe, and stick it in you like 4 times. Then he'd sit back down again, and he'd do a couple more lines, and he'd have you there for 8 hours.
Dude, that's
Just
just be your
bend
life.
over.
This could be your life, Josh.
God, I hope so. That's someday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Like when I was younger and I did coke, there was dick for fucking 4 hours.
Yeah.
You just were giving out dick. They're looking at you like, when is this gonna stop? And then when you do come, it's one of those long loads.
Yeah.
You ever have those loads? Like I used to be on probation, and there was a dude that was like a G.I. Joe dude that failed the police test, but his assistant was a good-looking woman. Like she was kind of cute. If I was 30, she was like 38. Nobody talked to her in Boulder because she had like a wooden leg. Like her leg was kind of like she had like that little limp. But you could tell the bitch had game. Like she could suck a cock. I would look in the eyes and I could tell this bitch is deadly. But nobody talks to her because of the fucking wooden leg. Or whatever the fuck she's got. She got shot in Vietnam. I didn't know what happened to her. And she was very nice. I forget what her name was. I'd see her. I'd always flirt with her. But when I was doing, and I was in the probation, I figured out how to fuck with the piss test. I'm uncircumcised, so I would take like fucking pool cleaner and put it on my dick and then pull the skin over it and put like a tab over it, like a bread tab, like a fucking rubber band. And then when I would go pee, the guy would watch me and I would take the thing out and just pee and then pull the skin back, and all the pool cleaner would go into the fucking thing, and then I would zap the machine. They would always say to me, this motherfucker's up to something. So he asked her, he goes, maybe you could see what the fuck he's doing. So I knew when I would call and go, I'll be there at 4, because they would call you, and then you had to call a machine that would tell you what color was up. Mm-hmm. And if the color came up, let's say your color is maroon, and they go, today's colors are green, maroon, and black, you would have to call in and tell them what time you're coming in. You had till 5 o'clock, but you had to make an appointment. Then she'd tell you, no. If he answered, that means he was going to watch you while you're pissed. But with me, they had mirrors around me. They couldn't figure out what I was doing, so they sent her in. So before I would go in, I'd fucking do a half a jerk in the car and get my dick nice and big.
Yeah.
And then I'd sprinkle it the fucking
pool cleaner?
The pool cleaner or the fucking...
Doesn't sting your dick, the pool cleaner?
I got scars. I got little holes into my dick, and Drano.
Yeah.
I would grind it up. I would fucking put it under my dick and then pull the skin back, and it would fall into the piss test and zap it. But before I would piss, I would take the hammer out and show it to her. Like, what do you think? What do you think? There's something nice. And she would look at it and look around the room. And not like I knew I was going to end up sleeping with her or swapping spirit with her, because I flirt with her. Nobody talked to the woman because she had a fucked up leg. So I'm off probation. I'm delivering Chinese food, and I'm slinging coke at the same time at the Chinese restaurant. So I would have you call the Chinese restaurant and say, can I talk to Joey? Yeah, what's up? Oh, you want egg drop soup? Whatever. The cocaine would be hidden under the egg drop soup, so that if I got in trouble, the Chinese people got in trouble. I didn't put it in the bag. This was when I was out already, out of prison. One night I knock on the door, and who answers the door? It's her. And she goes, oh my God, it's so great to see you. How have you been? And I go, it's great to see you. Man, I gave her a hug, and I put the Chinese down, and she goes, what are you doing with your life? I'm getting divorced, but I got into stand-up comedy, and I'm trying to deliver food to make a living. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. You and her broke up. Oh, you must need a hug. And as I started hugging her, we started swapping spit. And I touched a little monkey, and I could feel nobody had even touched a monkey in like 10 years. Steam started coming up. And I started fingering that motherfucker like a savage and swapping spit with her. And my hand was nice and wet, and I'm fingering it. I got a pinky surrounding her asshole. And I'm working, and finally I put it down slowly. And I pop her pants. I take her tit out. She's got one big fucking tit. I'm sucking her tits. And I'm making out with her, and I'm fingering her at the same time. So while I'm fingering her, I take her pants down, but I go, I don't want to see what the other leg is. So I took the leg off of the good leg, and I left the fucking bad leg covered, because I don't want to know what it is. If she's got like a pole under there, one of those fucked up feet. So I picked up her fucking legs, and I started eating her pussy, and the clit fucking was huge. I'm sucking at it like a piece of bubble gum. I look up at her, and she's like this, Christine, like with her mouth open. I go, now's the time to put the helmet in that fucking mouth. So I switched up. I started two-finger Louie in her, and I went around her, and I put that fucking hammer in her mouth, and she didn't know what to do. She's like, and at that time, I was trying to fucking lift weights and shit, so I wasn't jerking off, because somebody told me not to jerk off, that your protein, I was retarded. Yeah. You know, I'm retarded.
Yeah.
And when I came in the mouth, it was one of those loads, Christine, that don't stop. You ever have one of those things?
I know, Christine.
And you're sucking it with your eyes closed, and then after a minute, you open it up, because you're like, when is this going to stop? And I could look at her swallowing it, and it was endless. It was fucking endless. It was just a load of death. It was like a month and a half of not coming. There was Valium in there and Xanax and fucking
Well, it's so nice seeing you, Joey. Thanks for stopping by.
I shot a load in the mouth, and when I took my dick out, she went, ah. It was like she drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. She looked at me. She started getting a little dizzy.
Oh, my God.
I was selling Valium at the time. I was taking like 100 milligrams of Valium a night. When I shot in her mouth to put her in a trance, she was glassy-eyed. She gave me a $3 tip, and I left, and I never saw her again. She must have ate that Chinese food and slept for a week.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
you got any dates coming up you want to put on?
You can still
You got a Twitter
feel,
handle?
You
You
can
wanna
still
plug
feel what
that?
that nut felt like. I bet, right?
Oh, it was like a 3-minute nut.
But wait a minute, you didn't even bang her? You
No,
didn't put it in
no.
her vagine?
No.
No,
Well, that's-
Let me tell you, the
unloaded it.
pussy eating was tremendous.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I licked her ass.
Sorry, I blacked out at some point. I didn't listen closely.
Once I
enough.
shove my tongue in your ass, you black out. It's like you're 14 and your uncle's molesting you. You know. You just black out and let happen what's gonna happen anyway.
This is too good. Oh man, you're
Fuck
the
it.
best.
Take a shower.
Fuck it.
Joey Diaz, Church of What's Happening Now.
Whew, he needs to go to church after that. You got to repent,
You go to
son.
see him at the Comedy Store. Go his dates. Where did you have a website? I don't forget.
JoeyDiaz.net.
Jeez.
You're the best. You're the best.
So are you guys.
I love you so much.
Joey.
Christine, you lived that load when I was saying it. That's why.
I did not
It
live
took you back to
below.
college like
I
one
did
time.
not. I did not.
When you got a bad
She used to
batch
fuck
of
a lot of Puerto
Hungarian
Ricans.
dick.
I
Yeah.
like Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, you got a bad batch of those Platanitos sperm where you just kept fucking swallowing, saying this is the worst pina colada I've ever had.
Did that Zanku chicken come? I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Our closing song by
Feel
is
sick
by
inside.
Tardcore Fun. Joey Diaz, everybody. I love you, man.
Love you,
I
Uncle
love you guys
Joey.
too for having me on.
God. The retardation
Big words.
of your generation. The retardation.
Retarded.
Retarded.
God. The retardation of your generation. The retardation of your the retard the retard the retard God.
Hi, thank you for watching that episode of Your Mom's House. Please continue to watch more. You can see all these where my hand's gesturing. You can click on those. And please subscribe if you have not yet. And subscribe button, and then we'll get your money. Thanks.